Hi everyone, hello. We're gonna finish this event. I'm on UR5 because I was like doing that earlier to do my dailies. But okay, so we have UR7 after, UR8, and URST3 to complete. Either we get this done like relatively quickly, or I'm here for 3 hours losing my voice. There's gonna be no in between. I already know it. Good, good. Keep you on your like toes. Okay, so we're gonna jump in because I actually don't know how long these are gonna be. I know a couple of them were a little bit long yesterday, but I think we'll be able to fit. I think we'll be fine. I hope we're fine, because like this event leaves in 10 hours. Oh, we can complete it in 10 hours. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. We're good. I might lose my voice, but we're gonna complete it. Also, thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. What's going on? The jam and our backup detonators aren't working? Transmitter signal shows the device are all activated, but the 9 target pod cores engines have stopped. Somehow, the receiver signals are all messed up. Even pods without transmitters attached are sending signals. Get a team to investigate this. Have them remove all trace of our work from earlier and retrieve the transmitters. Captain, that's equivalent to calling the operation a failure. You forget how we do things in Maylander? If reality happens to significantly deviate our plan, cease all action immediately. We're not some rankwood espionage flick heroes trying to be tough. Yeah, you guys are kind of like committing terrorist acts on your own soil. Definitely not. You're not the heroes, man. Seems like someone's biased against blockbuster hits. We don't get reshoots. It's not as if we have no other choice. Don't send anyone to the pods. It's probably the Banshee's incantation that's keeping those toys from falling straight down. But Nasty should be in jail right now, right? She's not the Banshee I'm referring to. The incantation has fundamentally changed how the levitation layer facilities are connected. The malfunctioning receivers prove this. You're telling me the Banshee's incantation is able to connect the levitation layer's power supply structure, send signals, and synchronize commands? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Nasty designed the entire park's conduits and systems herself, after all. She didn't become one of the Rhine Lab's 10 solely on her engineering talent. Though, if we utilize the upper layer's power grid and detonate just one engine, that will cause the entire layer to fall. The entire layer? So you mean the park will connect with DC in 25 minutes. We have to present a reverse fireworks display up to Propeller Paradise. Change of plans. Those on upper layer, mobilize personnel and connect the support platform surrounding the levitation layer to the common power grid. Those on lower layer, calculate the crash zone to prepare for evacuation measures at any moment. I'll let Gustav know this, and have the admin staff coordinate with us to delay the opening speech. Also, send a group to the jail to confirm Nasty's position, and deploy at least 3 elite squads to the elevator square and any ascendable routes. It's only a matter of time before she returns to the levitation layer. Are you not going to join? Oh, I have to go supervise an agent of mine. Maylander has quite the troublesome evaluation systems after all. I'll join you the rest of you when I'm done. Alright teams, move out. Tin Man! What are you doing, man? You work on roads as well! What are you doing? I do like how, like, no matter how confusing the power dynamic ends, they all end in Rhode Island. The only one who didn't is my girl. We only got one that will never end there, and it hurts the most. A giant broadcast screen hangs in the Cloud restaurant, incessantly switching between gaudy company logos and the newest levitation devices, while Oakley's agitated voice booms from the speakers. The lower left of the screen is a real-time feed of the control room. A small red dot representing Propeller Paradise flashes, heading for max DC. Two cameras stand on a cloud-like carpet, point at a lone chair, like a defendant's dock, awaiting Gordon Tannen's attendance. Damn! They got him a cuck chair. Mudrock, welcome in! You're late. Why did he come dressed like that? There's not time to prepare a new outfit. We only have 20 minutes until your speech. The tie on my ATAO uniform was too tight. Huh. I remember 6 years back when you just got that set of clothes after a promotion to a full-time role. I personally adjusted it to you. So giddy from joy you were. You told me I had a lot to learn to be worthy of that uniform. Then I stayed in the same entry-level role for the next 6 years. No newbie's first skill is writing self-reflection letters. It's not that I've never regretted helping you in that uniform. And what about now? This outfit. The blame for causing the accident. Who put them on me? Oh, so you figured it out. You seized 2 crates of my goods the night I was exposed. I thought you were helping dispose of them, but I found out they ended up in the hands of you and Maylander. I bet this apology speech wasn't written that night either, was it, sir? Go on. Importing Iridium devices into Colombia clearly violates ATAO regulations, and if security is compromised, I'll be the sin eater for the whole park. No! Leave me out of this! So you still think this is a personal grudge? Am I wrong? I've always been a slum boy to you. Bad little bro breaker. As I climbed through the ranks on my own effort, you only came to hate me more. Your own effort. Do you honestly think that useless bum with disciplinary records and hundreds of self-replication letters on file could manage a transfer to the highly coveted levitating experimental park on his own? What? You disappoint me, honestly. Even now, you still only have a superficial understanding of our current situation. How would they make the plastic bag safe to breathe in? He does have like a respirator at the bottom. Not only that, you could also make it like those mascot suits that have like an AC in them. And have like the AC unit on the propeller. And you would be cool and have fresh air. I don't think it's impossible. I think it'd be annoying. I think there's a lot better characters to cosplay. But I don't think it's impossible. Your title, investments, achievements result from the very moment you stepped on Propeller Paradise were all gifts from me to you. Gordon Tannant, do you ever wonder how you managed to procure foreign origin products so easily? You knew about my dealings from the start. Even your stock lists were meticulously picked by my hand. Man! Imagine figuring out that like the way that you thought was a pawn wasn't even close to how badly of a pawn you were. The Trident Arts unit from Lithinian are secret equipment used by the Gusher Watcher for military training. The power shields used by the Casmerian campaign knights were disassembled into 3 parts, and you put them into the exhibits of 3 different companies. And the Iridium engines and arts core sourced from foreign military equipment, if the park blows up because of them. You aren't the brightest bulb on the chandelier, but you do have a good eye. Propeller Paradise is indeed a giant testing ground, but it's not testing these toys in the sky. Give it about 10 more minutes, and the sky fever you helped to ignite will burn into Colombian flames of fury for foreign spies. The countless exhibits in the sky and their core technology inside of them, they're all military reserves for countering our foreign foes. Naturally, Propeller Paradise will become the base of arms testing. Yeah, it really is so silly. Imagine like dressed up as Mr. Freeze and this is when you find out that you're just another pawn in the military industrial complex that's duct taped to his head. Military? I thought you would have considered ATAO's interest at least. We'll always be of one mind when we stand for Colombia. What matters is our country, man. So, this apology speech is your stepping stone to a new role. I might even be able to pull some strings and get you a new role at the Department of Defense. Why all the honesty? Not worried I'll sabotage a speech? The fact that you've shown up here with a speech in hand means you're already made the wise choice. I think he's on that route, Ren. Are you talking about Daleks? To be honest, I wasn't sure you'd be qualified piece on the board, but now, that little monster beside you has answered that question for me. They're like robots and they just go like exterminate, exterminate. Those are the Daleks. Same as the rich love of their cigars and watches, simply enjoying their sense of superiority with their little hobbies. I haven't watched them in years, so if it wasn't them, I have no idea who it is. 5-4 isn't a toy made to cater to Sky Fever. Sure, but you're no longer the reckless young man only concerned with invention and modification. Besh, welcome in! I'm not gonna lie, like, I kinda want to make them into ears because I get the joke so much. ATO sanded down your edges, educated you in the ways of the land, made you think to operate within the rules you set for yourself, and made you like me. Go. Get your little monster ready too. Let's have it join your public apology. It's a fitting symbol of what Propeller Paradise represents. Gimmicky, kitschy, useless. An absolute waste. Damn, he looks like genuinely upset. Cyberman? I actually don't remember the Cyberman. Just gonna make an ice pun. Altitude readings are stable, and the pods show no sign of following any further. While the engines aren't making any strange sounds. We should be safe now, right? King, welcome in! 50 meters. Lucky Sister Beat's pod fell 50 meters. That is terrifying! What's that, Aspen? 6 months ago. I was at the crowded registration center going through the paperwork. I was first in line and chose the most conspicuous levitation pod for my lucky Sister Beast. In the nicest way possible, I hope never. I don't... Look, man, look, man. The tomes of Super Hulock are out there. Do you really want to add the Doctor to that? Could you imagine the... Oh, God, no. No, I don't... Never, never, never. We're safer without it. Who Knights? No, no, no. Don't do that to me. Punchy, welcome in. Recap, chat has decided an evil line of thought, but as far as the story goes, you haven't missed much. Tannen confronted Mr. Glowy Man, whose name I cannot remember right now. And you find out that Tannen has been a bigger pawn than even he thought. Tin Man believes that Viola is holding up the levitation layer so that way the pods don't fall. We just got into this room with them. Aspen is figuring out how far they fell. They only fell 50 meters, but still. So they're in danger. Thankfully, that's all that's happened so far. Closer you are to Star Pod, the more luck you get. Oh, also, we found out that it's a false flag that, what's his face is after? Glowy Man is after. He just wants a false flag and to, like, start a war with our foreign enemies. At least ignite, like, public sentiment against them. Yeah, no worry, Nathan. You have fun. Oh, that's nice. I wonder where Arknights got that idea from. Never figured it out, man. Closer you are to Star Pod, the more luck you get. That's what everyone in the park thinks, even if your pod is only a few inches higher than your neighbor's. I lined up overnight just to get a spot closer to the sky. I hired over 100 testers to secure the exhibition spot. I got smuggled contraband just to keep my lucky Sister Beast running. Miss Barn, I can tell you're no fan of the competition, but this is the most basic law of Propeller Paradise. I'm sure you've seen it for yourself on your tours. I get a list of companies and corporate data updated daily. There are people who complain about their terrible lives only to head right back to their misery. You only got here a month ago. To you, this is a place you just happened to visit. To us, it's our only path to the future. And only a few will survive. Maybe you think I'm just desperate, sick man, talking out of his ass. But when the levitation platforms rise alongside the thousands of pods, we just feel the excitement coursing through our veins for no reason, don't we? I pour everything I had into Lucky Sisty Beast. That's why I have to win this gamble. I knew it. Even though incantation can link multiple platforms and pod through the power lines, its range is still very limited when calculated outwards from the tree. Barian, send a signal to the Sky Team. Tell them we found the pattern of the power connections. Gonzo, welcome in! Yeah, we're towards the end, man. We're only a few... Well, this one and the next one are the only nodes before the boss battle. Barian. Ugh. The scientific mind truly is brilliant, don't you agree? Thanks for helping us locate our mission objective. Inform our engineer experts to stop their research. Center in the platform beneath my feet. Have the personnel stationed at the perimeter immediately cut all backup power and attempt to connect the supply lines through alternative methods. Also, it is highly probable Ryan Labbers have discovered our plan. 2 researchers were found on Platform 4, but have been dealt with. All patrols, speed up. Report anyone you see ASAP. Your colleagues in the broadcast studio will buy us time by switching the camera feeds. Act fast. Hey! Congratulations, Gonzo! Don't fuck it up. You got this, man. Those agents are effing persistent. Can those Maylanders guys fly off or something? How are they everywhere? Good thing we lured them away, and there's no one here. No! 5 testers, 2 Ryan Labbers found on support platform 17. They have all been dealt with, but will be sent to detention on the lower level 5 minutes from now. The operation's going smoothly. They lack the numbers and are scattered like headless houseflies. As a Latina, that's dangerous. Good luck. But like... Okay. Goth and Latina just kind of go together. What was it that I saw the other day? White Goths are a recession indicator. True Goths are Mexican. It's bad. Look, man, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. She's coming for your family lands? Not even that. She's gonna hit you. And either you'll be into it, or you'll have to put up with it. There's no in between. Go to the gym, Vesh. Thank you for stopping by. Well, everyone excels in their old fields, and they lack communication equipment or anyone to direct them. What about Nasty? She escaped from the lower level cell 10 minutes ago, but no contact has been noted between her or any of the staff. She knows the park's structure. We're at a disadvantage with such a tight time window. But hide and seek is not a single-player game. We'll continue our patrols. A smattering of testers' research will not significantly affect our operation. Stay wary and report back promptly. Wasn't there one more person here just now? Phew, you didn't notice me. Thanks for pulling me back, Mr. Dagger. You're welcome. You good? Truth be told, seeing the others knocked down so easily still has my knees feeling like spaghetti. Can you run? I can. Let's split up here then. No time to slow down. I'm here, sir. Wipes pipe. Let me have a smoke first, Mary. Tin Man! Tin Man! You wanna smoke first when you're a freaking robot? Brother! He's too committed to the act. You can look at the screens while I'm at it. Mercia fixes her gaze at a dozen or so monitors on the wall and sees the high-altitude elevator, the floating platforms, the ropeway station. Almost every inch of Propeller Paradise is displayed on the screens. The bright and bizarre structures in the sky seem to pop out of the screens, a strange sight in the dark rooms, as if Mercia was attending a postmodern art exhibit instead. This place? What of it? Nothing. I just didn't think Propeller Paradise would have such a sealed-off space. Reminds you of our interrogation room. So, may I know why you're looking for me? Look at the upper right monitor. You heard the explosion earlier, didn't you? The nearly 10 floating pods connected to Rylap's tree should have been smoking heaps of scrap metal in the waste by now. Mary, I'm sure you know. What sort of force keeps them in the air still? An incantation. I kept the secret from you, sir. Our colleagues at the Emergency Management Council have only just captured the dangerous criminals responsible for the explosion. And now they have to clean up the mess caused by their own people's negligence. You've seen it. The Banshee's incantation as the way of the levitation layer connects to other platforms and pods. Any other incident happens, and it'll affect more than just 9 pods. The situation is dire. Why is he kind of keeping her, like, out of the loop? Sir, I shouldn't be speaking to you like this as a secretary, or a Mainlander agent. But I understand my colleagues, and I know how the council works. Just now, I was looking at surveillance footage, and they were busy munching on cotton candy. Inefficient methods of deception like that should be forbidden on such serious occasions. I've completed my mission of Propeller Paradise, both monitoring Mr. Tannen and the many tech companies and exposing their secrets, but now I see. These missions were never to ensure that Expo ran smoothly. Be it the secret from the start, the explosion just now, or the so-called other incident you mentioned. They've all been part of your plan, yes? You're keen. You pass. So, what exactly? Let's sit down before we continue. Sit down, sit down. Come on, you three. Some manners would be good. What the heck? I do like this art of her. She looks really cute there. Is this a Mainlander trail for a traitor, or... Or have I finally found the time to handle Junior's troublesome evaluation process? Don't worry, I'm just an old fart who wishes to impart some wisdom to the younger generation. I'm curious what that wisdom is. Ryan, welcome in! Hey, look at the Three Stooges! Yeah, they're here! They're here! Oh, Mary. I'm sure you'll hate this rotten nonsense. 1 year ago, Ryan Lance submitted a proposal to DC, a project developing tech from Galleria Stellaria, and Congresswoman Street was inspired to expand the project for the whole country. His secretary burned the midnight oil to prepare a slideshow, showcasing what the congressman saw in his dream after seeing the sky over Trimonts being torn apart. Holding and biting on Mercia's hat! Foundation stone built on the clouds. Walking while twirling Mercia's bow. Rain or shine, it'll all be under our feet. Swinging mid-air while holding onto Mercia's hat. tour groups leaving the star pod one by one as the twin moons are covered with Colombian fags. And so on and so on. Congress voted. How did that turn out? 273 to 75. More than 80% voted yeah. Ha! And the government is eager to water and fertilize these fantasies. I'm sure you know better than I do how many companies and testers were scrambling to get into the parallel paradise at any cost after that, Mary. Too many to count. Nearly half the companies in Colombia have added a sky-related department. And even air fryer manufacturers have been trying to add clouds to replicable product lines. Tin Man, don't forget about the stocks! There are over 200 subcategories of sky-related concept stocks, with the longest registered validity period extending 300 years into the future. Ha ha ha! I know, don't mention it, Bree! You didn't have to say it, I was already thinking it! I know, Arson, I know! Companies will only comply for loans with interest rates several times higher than the prevailing market rate just to secure a spot in Propeller Paradise. Yes, realities have actually just been realized by so many of us. Ugh. I remember looking through Gordon's case files, coming across a certain Aspen who brought contraband goods for him just to clear inspections. Now, it wasn't because he didn't know the law. It was because he was divorced, had sold his family assets, and was burdened with hopeless mountain of debt. The so-called lucky sisterbeast is a high-stakes gamble that will decide the rest of his life. What a shame. A shame. He used to run a grocery store in a town by shipping routes near DC. And even now, there might be some pioneers out there who are still using the tools he peddled. Here he is with this invention. That floating revolving bar where the people turn, but not the beer. What else can you even do with that? Other than invite your foes for a drink. Simply put, what he's done is akin to a student frantically writing compliments in the margins, hoping the teacher will give him a perfect score. Take the future as a real test. Who's going to be the examiner? You? Me? The generals of the DoD? Maybe Congress. Maybe it'll be Kazmira's, who just equipped all the campaign knights with power armor, or Lithinian, with a recent addition to the basic arts tactics course to all school curricula. Or perhaps Ursus, with his growing army, their mighty forces that's left their minds empty. Could be Ager, currently shelling the Iberian coast with artillery along with a sea of monsters. Among these parties, I fear it is a sea of monsters who are likely to visit the floating revolving bar. Sir, you mean to say that the Colombians' fanaticism for the sky is completely meaningless? Don't make me side with Tin Man with that analogy! Oh my god! Oh god! I don't want to understand the false flag! Oh, this is horrible! Compared to what's happened everywhere else right now, I'm afraid so. Colombia's always been driven by fanaticism. I'm sure you're crystal clear on this, given your background, Mercia. Without a fanatical drive for freedom, we wouldn't have our frontier levels 80 plus years ago, and we Columbus were still living under the Victorian's heel. You wanna know the worst part? This was released 6 months ago. In, like, at least originally it was released 6 months ago in China. And written even before that. I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it here. At any cost. Without a lust for wealth, our mass pioneer movement would have not happened. And nearly half of Colombian land today would remain on transverse wilderness, even for the strongest bird and beast. Probably 3 months riding a turnabout. Probably. Maybe a little bit longer, depending on the artist. So I would say, let's give it a year. Let's say like this was all conceptually made a year ago. And I hate how I can understand it. I hate how I'm like, Tin Man, you got a point. I hate it. But this time, it's just a waste. So you think Propeller Paradise should take the blame? Why would I? It's already accomplished its mission perfectly. Well, it's one step away. It stirred up the chameleon seal for effectively than I could have hoped. Now it just needs to redirect it. Through its ruin. Through it being destroyed. By who? Who else in this park could... Wait, Mr. Tannen's good. Smuggled from all across Terra. Casmiris, Lithinian, Sargon, even Casdell. They'll become weapons planted by foreign spies. Deliberately intended to ruin Columbia's display of achievements and destroyed our people's fantasies of taking the sky. 80 plus years later, the Columbians' rage will reignite once more. Casmirizans might not want to see their tax money turn to knight armor, while Athenian children might just run away from the boring basic art tactic classics. But Columbians, we have our forever. As we move to the future, we move forward together, tens of millions strong. As long as we can direct the zeal in the proper path. Collate our wills and seize the truth of everything. Sir, I remember you telling me your story. I thought you always hated war. It's been tens of thousands of years. The number of lost souls in my hand is no less than the casualties of a military campaign. The reason I didn't burn in Casdale's furnace is that I hate meaningless sacrifices. But this time, an arm race might just be the beginning. You and I know it won't end there. Just how the Great Expansion didn't end with the discovery of some ore. So, the sacrifices Columbia needs for this competition won't be enough just for this part, correct? I told you before, right? This is a whole bunch of rotten nonsense. The Maylander Foundation didn't have to explain all this to you, my dear agent. But the day will come when you will have to accept the truth, even if you don't agree with it. Don't forget your family name, Mercia. You're a Celine. Celine. 1 second. There's no way! There's no way! Nepo Glowy? Nepo Glowy! We have a Nepo Glow. Oh god, it's over. I don't even think it's just the actress. It's also the agent in Maylander. And that is mentioned in Lone Trail. And this is... The elevator connecting the park's upper level and lower levels have been sealed off. And only the ropeway station leading to the tree is also out of service. Nasty has exhausted herself just by getting here. Floating pods by her side are riddled with cracks. Black smoke billowing from within. A sign their core energy models have been destroyed, and they should have all crashed to the ground. But the pods stubbornly remain amongst the clouds, piercing together a precarious path, as if an invisible pair of hands are holding them up. Taylor, welcome in! I mean, this is like the aftermath of Lone Trail. And we're getting an arms race because, you know, war means technology gets along further. And I hate it here. Lone Trail! I don't blame you. It's a good story. Nasty. Update the others. I'll go get her. The agent rushes towards her, but just as he takes a step forward, the bricks under his feet shift. in! Target sighted. Location, Flight and Donut Station. Requesting backup. We tried to intercept her, but something's up here. What is she? Nasty, what are you doing? It is. Disorder. Nasty recalls a river at the mouth of the Cavalis of the Banshees. Still and calm, where even a child could safely row a boat on their own. However, unresisting intruders find the dense forest on both sides constantly shifting positions, like a mobile labyrinth, with the distant riverbank always hidden beyond the thick mist. Honestly, thinking about it, I probably should read also Dorothy's event. After a momentary silence, Nasty steps out of the pod into the empty sky. Brick and stone immediately form a floor beneath her. Disorder. A path held together by incantation. Cavalis Banshees often isolate themselves from outsiders, or decorate their own courtyards with this method. She also used the same tactic to momentarily saw Staria back in Ring Lab. This is a path specifically paved just for her. To her surprise, the whole area centered on the tree has been reconstructed by the incantation, but she fails to find the caster within the tree's core, among its roots. Yeah, but it's one of those things that it also connects to Lone Trail. And I want everyone going into Lone Trail that wants to understand, fully understanding. As well as here, because I think this entire story arc is going to be one of the most important ones for anybody playing Enfield. Only the roots of the trees are breathing, just as always. I actually have the Rhine Lab manga. So, I could read that for you guys. Please verify your credentials. Nasty Lenori, Director of Engineering, Rhine Lab. Nasty dashes towards the roots. She must confirm if any abnormal changes have happened while she was away. Yeah, I might... You're not wrong, Taylor. I was considering it. This is what's left of the vivarium, and the secret Rhine Lab has been protected at all cost. No matter how the unrest in the park ends, it is only the bargaining chip on Nasty's hand. She touches the roots, allowing data to flow into her fingertips and gather the branches around her waist. Eustace always teased Nasty about the human computer, and she always took it as a praise. In the current situation with biotechnology as fused with the Banshee's witchcraft, her body's perhaps the best data cable to use. The branches begin to vibrate quickly, a sign of the device overclocking. Almost simultaneously, Nasty feels some sort of temperature shift. Not the chill of condensation, not the heat of electricity, but body heat? She experiences a strange feeling out of nowhere. Here and now, she is no longer director of Rhine Lab's engineering section, checking if a device is still operating normally, but a banshee touching another of her kind. Just like so many years ago, when that woman held out her own hand and taught her how to blow a leaf whistle. Nestle abruptly looks up. Viola, you got that drip on! Holy shit, woman! Holy shit! She's like, I'm not going easy into the night. I'm going out dripped out. Pain murmurs. Elated murmurs. Nasty, my child. You're back. Her face, though, breaks my heart where she's like cracking. Yeah, she got that shit on! It's amazing! Report. All pods in levitation layer are now connected to the detonation web. We have people on the power levels evacuating people from the square. People are very passionate about the exhibition. Things will take some time, but will not delay our plans. We will detonate the levitation layer as soon as Propeller Paradise docks with the district. Any movement from Ryan? We've taken 23 into custody. A dozen are still at large on the platforms. We have control of 8 observation points. Those people going in and out of the exhibition area and the ropeway stations. No special Ryan equipment other than standard maintenance gear. They're just playing hide and seek? No plan B? Keep an eye on them. They don't know the details of Maylander's plan. Nor do they have any means of communication. Any last gasp effort is doomed to fail. Understood. The outline of Max DC, the most vibrant nomadic city in Colombia, is already visible from the ropeway station waiting area. The agents have not had a chance to enjoy the view of paradise until now. With an excellent visibility, all the laboratory facilities and levitation layer are brimming with vitality. Pods float in midair like aquatic creatures. Floating botanical units line up in orderly between small platforms, forming a power grid that supports the entire layer. Wait, where did you say Ryan's people were? Exhibition area and ropeway stations. Where exactly? Show me. Looking at their movements, there's no way they can reach the platform where that tree is. Or other company pods. Could it be they're not trying to take back their turf at all? Ryan's people, the testers, the company reps, they all seem to be flying around blindly in the dark. What's the point of it all? Really? Taylor, it ends in 10 hours. Just a heads up. If you are unable to read it, it'll at least have like the VODs if you want to catch up on those. If not, hopefully it'll be back soon. Well, it's gonna be back no matter what. So you'll get it there, but hopefully you're able to read it before it goes. The agents cast a casual glance at the nearest planting unit. The unremarkable Ryan creation stands quietly. He suddenly realizes that the warning lights on their edges are easily visible even when during the day. They've been blinking irregularly for quite a while now. Okay, good. Why didn't you play the event, Punchy? Do events go into the archive? No, they have one rerun, and then they have the archives. Yeah, new events still have a rerun. We always have one of them. I expect no less, Punchy! No. Well, you have time! Do it now, do it now, do it now! Spotters report all Ryan people have disappeared from sight. No, they didn't disappear. They're going the same direction. There's a pattern to their movement. Everybody, listen up! Destroy the planet units you see along the way. They're not decorations. Ryan is using them to communicate. Cut off the exhibition area for the ropeway stations and find every one of those people playing hide and seek. Find out where they're heading. What on terror are they thinking? You guys are still in here? After everything, you're not trying to get out. You've been looking outside the window for a while. You said you must win your gamble, and you have a reason. Yes. I'm in the middle of a gamble too. I have a rough idea what's going on in Propeller Paradise, given the look on your face and the free fall we just experienced. You wouldn't run this kind of risk with me for no reason. There's nothing I can offer you now except... You want the lucky Sister Beast? You could say that. I want the contraband that Gordon Tannen sold you. Coming to the broadcaster room with me to bother me when you should be preparing your own speech? You sure have a thick hide, Mr. Tannen. I would have died a long time ago if all my enemies refused to work with me ever again. Work with you? I'm afraid I can't. Mainlander has a laundry list of violations that I committed during my career. I don't want to spend the rest of my days giving prison tours. Neither are you looking for a peaceful life. Besides, my proposal has something to do with Mainlander. There's no better vantage point than here in Propeller Paradise. Oakley's too excited to notice. I doubt you could miss what's going on. Well, if I gotta say it, the broadcast screen's levitation layer is switching too quickly. They say it's because they're doing testing, which I'm not convinced about. There are a dozen testers in the square whom I don't recognize. They don't look like they're taking a stroll. They look like they're patrolling. Like they know the dangers impeding. Are you trying to trick me into another plot? There's a plot afoot on Propeller Paradise, alright. That's a fact. It's also a fact that I won't let Gustav make a mockery of this place in front of the Call of Columbia. You have 10 seconds, yes or no? What are the chances of success? 10%. Doesn't sound like a gamble you take. I don't have a choice with that old fox sitting across the table, holding all the cards. A plan almost certain to fail. Interesting. Tell me about it. I need you to convince as many people as possible to return the levitation layer and retrieve the original equipment and arts units on the list. All contraband that you sold. They have far more potential than just sitting under the spotlight. You want to escape and take all of Propeller Paradise with me. Gustav and Marylander never intended to allow the exhibition to go ahead. The opening ceremony was just a smokescreen. The levitation layer will fall a second time soon, but miracles don't happen a second time. The lucky Sistibus can't afford to start over. Neither can most startups on Propeller Paradise. Escape and take all of Propeller Paradise. It's the only way to save both Propeller Paradise and the people in the lower level. Propeller Paradise has been traveling on the Barren Lands for 7 days. Fuel is short, and the plate is operating in safe mode. The basic propulsion module is not enough to change its direction. But the arts unit the Lucky Sistibus got was a transformation stabilizer. Can't supply enough energy to turn a plate. Correct? But it wasn't the only item that Tannen smuggled. You mean... Oh no. Oh no! Am I back? Are we good? I think we're good now. Oh no, is it not live? We're good? She's struggling? I think we're back. It just disconnected for a second. Seems stable now? Okay, yeah, for some reason it just disconnected. I do know there's some like extreme weather in the area. We will finish this. Never not struggling for real. Not deviate. Make an about face. Look, man. The fires are very strong today. Look, man. Sanity's hard to come by in Arknights sometime, okay? About face? Do you have any idea what you're saying? It's the direction of the borders. True? The procedures for cross-border travel is a little complicated. It would be treason! No, I can't go to jail. People need to see Lucky Sistibus on the broadcast. My wife in Northville needs to see it. In the interest of full disclosure, I must inform you that the people won't see Lucky Sistibus on the broadcast, whether we succeed or fail. No. You know... I'm just happy that the devil doesn't make me use dial-up. That's where we're at with the internet situation. I'm sorry, but I'm taking the unit. Oh no! Oh no! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, no, we're back, we're back, we're back! Yeah, he really switched dial up. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Right now, 3, 4, 5, 7 flashes. Looks like the other units on the list have been retrieved. Everyone is rendezvousing on platform 7. Wait. The light went out. What does that mean? It means Maylander knows what's up. We're in danger. Mr. Aspen, you can either come with me on your feet, or you can go to sleep right here, right now. Stop using the phone. He's making some calls right now. People like us never get to choose, do we? Sit down. Gustav looks at the Sarva, who has butted heads with him for 7 years, who now sits in stiffly on a chair, like a potato wrapped in foil. He knows young officers well. They're angry, flamboyant, unhappy with about everything, and frustrated about being restricted by rules. In the end, however, they all sit in the same chair that rectifies their young spine and becomes a proper member of the upper stratum of Colombian society, as Gordon Tannen will. Oh, God! AOL CDs. Oh, no. That's where we're at? Oh, God. Once Maylander's plan succeeds, the broadcast room will switch over to the cloud. Don't screw up. Put your usual attitude away. Sound sincere. Devastated. It is propeller paradise you built. It will be hard to stir the appropriate emotions. Tomorrow, that sorry face of yours is going to be on the front page of every Colombian newspaper. Look the part, won't you? And stop staring at your little freak. I know. You don't want Propeller Paradise's Cinder sharing the same spotlight as Nasty. But your little hodgepodge trinket isn't going to save you. So I'm sitting in Gordon Tannen's defendant seat. Yes? I can follow you to the DOD once I apologize, according to the script. Do as you're told, and you'll rise quickly through the ranks. Yeah, guess what? I don't give a shit. What was that? I don't like this seat. It makes my scales itch. Broadcast countdown. Cloud restaurant standby. Broadcast? Now. Possible. No movement on the levitation layer. Did Maylander screw up? Who's operating the broadcast? 3, 2, 1. Do it, 5-4. Yes, sir. What? Ugh. I like the little fish. As broadcast cuts to the Cloud Restaurant, Spacefin 054 leaps at an unprepared Gustav, pinning him to the ground. The screen in the restaurant lights up, and Gustav sees his own face, writhing in pain and shock. He knows that his face is being displayed on every screen of Paradise. Look, man, honestly, you kind of deserve it for having, like, hair in your neck. His contingency plans flash before his eyes, but Maylander's plan in its final phase, leaving little room for distractions. His communicator lies in pieces on the ground, destroyed by Spacefin 054. Gordon stretches his neck and wrists, crushes the defendant seat with his foot, and leisurely lies down the sofa next to him. Oh, that felt good. By the way, tomorrow, that sorry face of yours is going to be on the front page of every Colombian newspaper. Look the part, won't you? You. What? You don't expect to be mobilized by a little hobby made of fuel sky fever? You're the elder statesman of ATAO, planning a new chapter in the Department of Defense. You made the rules of Colombia when you were young. You continue to serve your country even after your retirement. Woohoo! First straight, aren't you? Maybe you've grown into thinking that your enemies always use the rules to fight you back in smart and clever ways. Did you forget that Gordon Tannen is a bandit who never gives shit about the rules? Piece of trash to obsessed with his toys? Guess I should be surprised. You don't even recognize 5-4. Even though I didn't change his voice module. I do like the art, like, layout. I think it's a very good composition. But I only like 5-4 here. Hello, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Units Originium. At your service. To check the progress of application, press 1. To report a safety risk, press 2. To be connected to an operator, press 0. You respect the mutton. They're not even mutton chops. Mutton chops would be up here. An ATO answering machine? I said Spacefin 054 was an enrichment cigar. I wouldn't be smug just because it obeys the rules I set down. 7 years ago, I sat in a tiny chair that made my ass hurt, writing my first self-reflection letter late at night, wondering if I should quit. Answering machine 054 started giving up an unusual noise, and I racked my brains trying to figure out the problem. I started studying every arts unit Iridium device that passed through my hands, just to give 5-4 the ability to operate, communicate, and think on its own. You think the hundreds of self-reflection letters I wrote were a symbol of my submission, but 5-4 is a real culmination of my 7 years at the ATAO. You're full of crap. You didn't learn the tricks of bureaucracy for your little invention. I think I've never seen a negotiator threaten, arrogant, vain, ambitious. I know them when I see it. I can hear shadows of my own speech even now as you're talking to me. I never thought I was perfect. Maybe I'll never be able to get rid of the bad habits I learned from you. They disgust me, but they weren't mistakes. My only mistake was to find my transaction as smuggling. I shouldn't have allowed myself to accept the rules that have taken form. Rules that don't make sense. You're not wrong. Sorry, you mean Colombian, right? Totally. Foolish boy. You don't understand what's at stake. You can hear the eagle in the back? That's the president. Listen, old slug. I don't care what high and mighty reason you have. Propeller Paradise is supposed to be a breeding ground for war. Sure, kinetic engines and high-powered art units could become powerful weapons. But what they're supporting now is the dream of life in the sky. Until Propeller Paradise docks with the district, I'm its chief executive. The man who built this little piece of heaven that still has a semblance of freedom. I will decide whether or not it will be destroyed, or whether it should escape. Take his passcode 5-4. Yes, sir. It's no use. Central control console's locked. You can't stop the plate from docking with the district, even if you have my passcode. Who said anything about stopping? What? I said escape. Not only did the former head of the ATO not disable his passcode when he retired, he used the security access to grant it to disable the urban identification code system of the Colombian border. Cool, isn't it? You're gonna commit treason for this stupid, pointless children's playground? Huh. You were right. You didn't learn a single thing from me. Let me remind you that Propeller Paradise is running out of fuel. You can't operate this place steering system. You don't have enough energy. Even when you're pinned on the ground by the robot I built, you somehow managed to forget that I've always been an inventor. Bewa! I'm doing pretty good. How about you? I hope to deliver the goods on time. Okay, but how is the fight with Nasty gonna go? The ground of Rody Motors has never been so clear. The skies are clear, overly pristine, shelf-cleaning artificial clouds combined with natural clouds to form a wondrous scene. But the people on the platforms are oblivious to it. Some 50 Propeller Paradise guards and mainlander agents back off every passage and cable connections, forming an impregnable cordon line with their bodies and weapons. Okay. EX8 is really easy with Hoshi Alter. Hoshi Alter and like some kind of boss killer Either like, what's her face? I had W and, oh my god, what's her face? Lapland Alter. They make it easy. You can borrow a Hoshi Alter though. With Hoshi Alter, you can clear it. I will put my Hoshi Alter up if you need her. Beneath their feet, the classical black and white tiles from the chessboard. The two sides separated by 10-meter long open air passage. What's wrong with my Hoshi? Why do you hate my Hoshi? The eyes of the agents are fixed on the support platform on the other side of the passage. The Rhine staff and testers have at one point disappeared from sight, now assembled there. Platform 7. The analysis was correct. This is where the hide and seek converges. Our people are ready, but there's more of them than expected. They took our guys out in the broadcast room. Intel was not accurate. We're putting in everything we have. Strength in numbers alone isn't enough. Be on your guard. They have an advantage when it comes to new weapons and lay of the land. Propeller Paradise is about to dock with DC. Do not let anyone pass. Use force if necessary. I'll take responsibility. Yes, sir. No, they're absolutely juiced. I don't know what Rhine Lab put in them. Probably a Banshee curse, but like... They're a god. They're just absolutely juiced. 6 elite squads. We have numbers, but the guys on the other side are hard to tell if people are going when they're exhausted. Get the word out to others, Jelena. Anyone who's too tired to move, give someone else their core components. Pick up any hover unit. Stay behind the guard support platform. Hekados, welcome in. Ooh, I hope you had a good nap. Naps, I can't take them. They make me like overheat and I just feel nasty for the rest of the day. Hot nasty. You're betting on them being wary about unknown new products? I hope it works. Phew, made it. Are you sure you want us to go this way when it's like this? Yes, this is the only way to the cloud. Take my parachute. Things might get dangerous. What about you? Me? Fern gazed at the Maylander blockade with interest, as though she's going to meet an old rival. Yeah, Hoshi Alter is the MVP. I'm surprised you napped then. The camera drone left platform 7 half an hour ago. Nothing that's about to happen here will be seen in the broadcast room. Everyone knows that the conflict's inevitable. Neither side wants to delay. Their eyes are fixed on each other. Everyone's waiting for a sign. My tour is waiting for my signal. Oh! That's a great reference to put here. I like that. Suddenly, a yellow and black warning flag is raised. A young feline woman leaps out from the crowd, loudspeaker in hand. The first day snuck on Propeller Paradise. A kind guide told me that no one in this place can be stopped, if even the sky is no longer off limits. From the exhibits to the underground lab, I memorized every strange and curious invention, the complex ideas behind them, and hundreds of thousands of words of descriptions. I could tell you who made the flying toaster above our heads, its model, and the generation. I could go on and on about how wonderful they are, but to be completely honest, I find the levitating plates less interesting than the sunsets of Bleach Wasteland. Then I remember my father used to say to me, a story is always more interesting than an explanation. I've had many frustrating experiences in the years that I worked as an independent guide. There's nothing wrong with seeking truth, but many people subconsciously disparage exaggeration, inspiration, and dreams yet to come. I swore I never again label things that I've never seen for myself as impossible, and laugh at my own family with my neighbors. as I did years ago. It was not until the day that my father died that I truly understood what he said. If Propeller Paradise needed a guide, I would rather tell the people of Columbia about the people I met here, about their stories. Rice Bush. Huh? A cobbler from Bunker Hill, whose dream was to leave a footprint on each of the twin moons, so that everyone looks up at the telescope would see his shop's logo on the shoe prints. There's no bigger billboard in the sky, after all. Owen Fredericks. I'm here. Hardware store owner who wants to put his own screw on the second ring lab and earn a spot for his family when space colonization becomes reality. Hey, never hurts to be prepared for the future. Aspen. I'll tell it myself. Aspen, shut up! You got no charisma! Aspen, grocer from Northville. After being tricked and taking out exploitative loans, I divorced my wife and left home so the creditors wouldn't go after my family. Oh, so that's what happened with the wife. My wife and I came up with the name Lucky Sistabees together. We haven't spoken to each other in 2 years. She was worried sick when I left. I promised the name Lucky Sistabees would be on TV, so she'd know I'm safe. Kristen absolutely won. Now I know that the exhibition was one big flat lie. But I want her to at least see this red balloon with the Lucky Sistabees logo on it. Even if all the pods crash. That's why he needed the balloon. Oh. Aspen. All of you. The things we want, whether they're based in reality or just a pipe dream, whether they're the result of blind conformity or superstition, they're more important than Maylander and Gustav think they are. Run! Jump! Fly! We'll overcome everything that tries to block our path and change us, without ever trying to understand us. We're the ones who'll decide Propeller Paradise path. You know what? He's still a chud. I respect the fact that he didn't bring his wife down with him, but he's still a chud. Fern dashes forward like a foul beast, loudly blasting her signal, as the rest of the pack follows behind, charging at the Maylander blockade. Exhibits fly over the heads of the pushing and squeezing crowd, carrying all kinds of contraband toward the sky. Absurd and flying tree. Okay, but Nasty's part. Phew, finally out of the woods. Good work, guys! We just need to hang in there a little longer. 34 contraband core components, all intact. Looks like the landing module works quite well. My work is almost done. All that's left is deliver this to Gordon. Hope all is well on his side. Next, put it down. Turn around. You're Gustav's science consultant? What are you doing here? God damn it! This fucker cannot let me leave in peace. I thought we were done. I thought I was safe. What the hell is that? Yes. That is my nightmare fuel. It needs to be put down. Outside the window, the pinnacle of DC government office and the Colombian flag are already visible. Gordon's eyes are fixed on the bottom left of the broadcast as the red dot on the map gets closer and closer to the district plate. According to the plan, the device on the list should have been delivered to the cloud more than 10 minutes ago. He forced himself not to look at the door. Gustav is bound to notice any sign of anxiety. A reverse Uma? Well, that would mean like Umas would be like centaurs. Because it would just... No, that's... What's the name of that game where you're like dating a horse but it has like a human head? That V end? I know somebody asked me to play it. 1 second. What is it? What is it? My Horse Prince! That's what it is! It's the reverse My Horse Prince. I'm gonna post just one image to the server so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. This thing. I'm sorry. Oh my god. It's so cursed. The plan isn't going the way that you expected, is it? You're calmer than I expected. Being willing to take risks is not a bad thing, but you're not good enough at assessing risk. You don't have time to prepare a plan B for your reckless plan A. All of you will pay a heavy price if it fails. What's your plan B? It's all good and well to rediscover your confidence, but never forget who you're competing with. I told you that getting carried away will cause you to overlook fatal flaws. What do you mean? You're late. I was delayed. You're a science consultant. More than just a science consultant. I need insurance for my plan. The tall, dark... Why are you describing him like this? The tall, dark Haranto walks towards Gordon. The box holding 34 Originium devices, safely contained by protected material, seems almost weightless in his hands. What, you're telling me you don't like man horse? You get horseman, and now you get man horse. He lifts his arms and hands the box over to Gordon. What you wanted. Thanks. What are you doing? I learned a lot from you. Of course, I knew your trump card was a rival to propose competition, a scientific consultant with both brains and brawn, a fair and impartial outsider to give legitimacy to the hearing and plan. Too bad you picked the wrong guy. You're welcome! Gramophone made the tentacles of fossilized seaborn? Decorative? Or specifically functional? Oh, it's for... I see. Automatic tuning with the seaborn sound-producing structures. The grooves on the edge indicate that the designer even tested it whether seaborn adjust their biostructure based on the music. An interesting idea. I don't like this man. Somebody's obsessed with him. Somebody in Hypergriff is obsessed with the horseman. I hate this so much. I'm terrified. If we get him as an operator, oh my god, it's over. He's gonna be a free operator. I'm calling it now. Everyone will be cursed to have it on the roster. It's not an if, it's a when. Where does this golden skeletal hand come from? The one on the wall is from Sart. It forms a pair with the heavily corroded one on the shelf, doesn't it? Construct of the joints and the level of wear and tear indicates that it originated from the western desert of Sargon. Ah, this ruined dagger. It's familiar, face it. They were supposed to be a pair. I got it from a Sami snow priest, who has said a pair of lovers put a curse on it with their blood. It's driven by witchcraft and cuts through iron like butter. Unless I refuse to play the stages. I mean, is that why you're not playing this event? You don't... I thought you liked... No, you don't like Tanner. It was the other guy. It was Tin Man. You liked... My bad. I know. The other one was once impaled in my heart. Why? What are you talking about, man? What are you yapping about? Look, man. They went all out on this man, and I hate it. It's no longer cuts through iron like butter. But it's still good enough to carve a walking stick. Why does he have a background story? Because he's only a matter of time before they make him an operator, Taylor. You gotta accept this. He will join Rhodes Island. He is somebody's baby. And they will bring him into the story whether you'll like it or not. First 7-star. Oh, don't say that. What a nightmare reel. Mr. Consultant, I apologize for any offense I may have caused. And I understand your desire for a recompense. But I don't have the time. I brought you here for a serious purpose. If you were to take off part of the structure of the gramophone and combine it with the sensor module in the metal skeleton hand, we might create a new type of voice-guided navigation model. Why? Why? Why did it make him like this amazing inventor? What are you doing here, man? What is it? Where's your family? Oh god, nightmare. Oh god, yeah, yep. Let's continue. The witchcraft-driven blade can serve as a low-loss needle, and here, this high-powered Iridium internal combustion engine, legal only in Rim Battalion, can provide 30 times the power of standard Colombian equipment. Punchy, are you into this? Is that why it's not that bad? Where he's wearing mantras? Oh. Part of Rhine? No. We don't want him in Rhine. If only we can find a Victorian transformation stabilizer, which is no longer in production. And the locus of sorcery that once was on Colombian borderlands. You see, at least Mountain, like, I can respect the fact that, like, the artist has a very good use of color to where it's ridiculous. But this man, you can't respect anything about it. Literally, it's the same thing. Buff man with animal head. Same thing. I almost have all parts necessary to put together initial core assembly of a pneumatic plates mobility layer. I know what I'm planning to do. Trying to modify an entire plate's power source with a single device is extremely risky, but not impossible. How? Some people lose the genetic lottery. No. You misunderstand. I respect Mountain's artist. I never said anything about liking Mountain. Also, I don't know anything about Mountain's character, but I'm kind of pissed off how this guy is just a Mary Sue. Oh god. You're not wrong, Effie. You're not one of Gustav's guys. Who are you? You're the one who said you didn't have time. The real question is, what do you need me to do? Gordon glares at the Karanta standing at the center of the collection room. The Karanta recognized all Gordon's collections, saw through all Gordon's thoughts, and nonchalantly revealed the glimpse of his own past, as though he had pursued death across the land. Yeah, it's the entire, like, pose and looks Maxine, and, like, look at this man. He's dark and broody and intelligent. It's like, brother, you want me to like this character so bad. He's JoJo coded? No! To Gordon, the Karanta seems to stroll through the halls of his thoughts, like a king that knows nothing and everything. Once again, the spikes on the Sarva's tail rise up on their ends, swaying conspicuously. This time, it's not because he's on guard, but because of the excitement of victory being in sight. How's the stability power unit? It will last no more than 3 days, or 1 day and a half. It feels insufficient. Good enough. I didn't actually plan on driving it out of Columbia. You don't think I'll shit on everyone's future for a grudge? That's what you want people to think. To allow you to protect as many people as possible. Is that so? Treason is a serious crime. You should look at my file. Got enough charges against me as it is. Come, let me take this stuff to the control room. Oh no. This is... I don't like this. I don't like how much, like... He could be a main character for stuff. The wings of a foul beast, the horn of a burden beast, the teeth of a mangler beast, the hide of a sand beast, the blood of a beck beast. What would happen if you took something from 34 creatures and put it all together? Sharp, weird, chaotic, dangerous, malicious? These are the thoughts that flashed through Gordon's mind as he gazes upon the power unit he just created. But he's also filled with excitement that threatens to drive him mad. The plate's original power system has been turned off. The device is now connected. You may now decide the course for Propeller Paradise. I don't know, man. I think this man's gonna get out of NPC jail. I have a feeling somebody on the team likes him a bit too much. And that's dangerous. Exactly, Bree. I swore an oath when I got my transfer notice. I would be the one that lights the fire of everything for New Propeller Paradise. I would do everything I can to make even the stupidest ideas come true. No one would ever feel the pain I felt in the ATAO, to be forced to admit their own uselessness in a rule set by others. That's a lie, Punchy. That's a lie if I've ever seen one. Now, I'm still the one who lights the fire. Except I'm doing it in the engine to Propeller Paradise, and let it run into the empty wilderness. Gordon grabs a fierce-looking lever on the power unit and takes a deep breath. Say goodbye to Max DC, Propeller Paradise. We're not going to talk about that, Bree. We're not going to... He needs a character flaw. We're just going to ignore everything good about him and concentrate on the fact that he's a furry. That way, like... we can't do this. He can't be a Mary Sue. We can't let the furry be a Mary Sue. Tin Man. That Fern is leading the group to Platform 7. I see it through the monitors. Looks like Tannen got one of Gustav at the cloud. Hearing from the guys monitoring Rhine Tree, Nasty has broke through the blockade. Our guys are trying to follow her, but they're being blocked by something that feels like sarcastic witchcraft. Viola. Send a team over and get the situation under control. I'll deal with the matters on Ryan's side. Looks like we're gonna meet an old friend, Larry, Curly, and Mo. A mad banshee on the brink of death might be a bit of a headache to deal with. As for you, Mary, you can choose to stay here or help our colleagues outside. You should stay a little longer. Hey, you three. Tinman hears no answer from his reverent friends. Well, Curly is literally waving a stick and dancing an impromptu tap dance. Big Larry lies on top of Mercia's head with tears in his eyes, recalling memories of who knows what. As for little Mo, he is howling and yelling, and Tin Man can hear. He seems to think he's back in Casdell, taking out a revolver and emptying it into the Elder Reverend, trying to stuff him into the furnace. My legs are numb. I'm a little dizzy. Perhaps you've been lax about your exoskeleton maintenance. This brain isn't supposed to rust. Your arts have improved considerably, huh? You managed to drag these three into a whirlpool of memories, even though old Curly has confiscated the protector. Or was it dumb luck? Did all these memories of their overly long lives make it easier for you to manipulate? It will take a long time to play through the movies of your lives, even at 320 times speed. Not to mention all the moments that need to be paused and replayed. I apologize. You understand the effectiveness against me is limited. Yes, I'm sure you'll break free of the shackles quite soon. I've read Hohayak's reports. She cannot fully incapacitate you, even after lopping your head off. That's my girl! That's my girl! I know. Remember, she can replay memories and moments for you. It's wonderful. Absolutely abuse that in so many ways. Therefore, all I can do is stall it for as much time as possible and delay your intervention. You're an outstanding agent, Mary. You've always been doing an admirable job, helping people forget that they should, be it through arts or other means. But this is the wrong time, and you've chosen the wrong target. You told me not to forget my family name. I've never forgotten. Any Celine who grew up in that old house would never forget. Ren, I think you just need therapy. I don't think she can fix that. The orphanage of Maylander Celine, predecessor of the Foundation. It was our home. We truly considered Mr. Celine our grandfather when we were little. Do you know what my most vivid memory of him is? When I was 8, I came home from school one day to find the doll that should have been in my room, spinning in the middle of the garden, watering the grass around it. It was the only thing that reminded me of my mother. I don't remember her face, but I remember her thimbles gleaming under the lamp as she soothed the doll for me. Grandpa turned into a sprinkler without a single word to me, as though the doll was always meant to do that. The children who grew up with me all have similar stories. You were Grandpa's best friend. You know that. To the founding father of the Federation, there's only new things in Columbia, the youngest nation on Terra, rising out of the frontiers. The only reason for old things to stay is to be used for pioneering. It didn't matter if we were Victorian immigrants or Gaulish refugees, whether we were children of debtors or criminals. Grandpa wanted us to become the children of Columbia, become Celines. That was the only reason for our existence. However, that's exactly why I can't accept what's happening right now and take it for granted. What do you mean? I can't begin to imagine you experiencing the long course of history. The Maylander Foundation, the president, the vice president, they all have more things to think about. I've seen the analysis because Cosmerian power armor. They reverse engineered the technology of the Gaulish phase vanguard, achieving results that surpass the transmitter using flesh and blood of knights. When he's a robot? His brain isn't. There are a few robots in Arknights that aren't robots. So like Friston is another one who's not really a robot but a robot. Honestly, yeah. We do need more the power armor. Okay. Does that mean we can have an Ava in Arknights? Is it possible? They're not cyborgs. They have their consciousness in robots. So they're not exactly cyborgs. Yeah, Friston deserves better. He deserves happiness, okay? After everything? I've read the textbooks Lithuanian basic arts course, art tactics courses. Will not be surprised if, in a decade, every citizen Lithuanian is a soldier, as is the case for Laterano. They have their brains in the machines? How do you explain it? Okay, so Friston is like the doctor and priestess. I'll leave it as that. Now slowly killing the older lady, that's a Sarkaz, right? Yes, they're also Sarkaz. They are banshees. I can understand why Maylander thinks Columbia's fallen behind. how a timely arms race could bring us back on the right track. We love those! Exactly. Judging by the great stand that Grandpa taught me so many times, there is nothing more efficient than the perspective of national development. It's not that I understand these fallacies. Indeed, if I was asked to deal with these problems, I would draw a blank. I would be able to do a little else but cry. But I just can't take it for granted. Not now. If orphans like us, who had nowhere to go, could all become children of Columbia, then why should a mother who walked 1,000 miles in search of her daughter, a merchant who put everything on the line so that his wife would not be hounded by creditors, and a tester who was simply trying to earn a living, why should they be sacrificed for the sake of Columbia's progress? My job is to make people forget, but this time... You've decided to pay a price for Columbia's progress. You shouldn't be allowed to forget. You should remember the lives and dreams that were part of the sacrifice. Okay, I like her a lot. We should have gotten her instead of Tannen. Don't think of it as no big deal. I wish we would have gotten her. I just realized there's like a face. Oh man, there's multiple faces on her hips. Oh no! Nasty gazes at an insect figure with the winding branches, the figure of her mother. Viola's limb had been replaced by gray-white branches, bark climbing up her clothes and skin like scales, printing countless indistinct visages. My face is on her hips! Taylor, no! Glowing resin pours down like a waterfall, obscuring her face. Many desperate hands reach out from within, clutching her throat like clutching at straws. Both the tree and the person from within seem unrecognizable. There's only one thing that Nasty can be sure of. This was not a natural occurrence. You merged with the tree. Falling. I see your road back falling, collapsing. I must make sure you can go home. My incantation cannot reach the broken path, but the roots of this roosting tree will. I harmed it. Unravel. Nasty's incantation goes unanswered. The tree's design was based on grammar of the Banshees. It remains flawed in many ways, but has never been rejected by incantation, yet now. The branches continue to spread around Viola, dragging her floating silhouette towards Nasty, bit by bit. Please, Viola, stop. Let me analyze what's happened to you. Nathan, this is the old woman. This is Granny who's been walking around losing her memory. You can't, like, thirst for the dementia patient. Something just feels wrong there. I'm not saying what... Okay. As long as we're on the same page, don't thirst for the dementia patient. Nasty's plea goes unanswered too. All Viola does is ask questions in an urgent, trembling voice. There is no mist apple pulp outside the valley. How do you polish your feathers' horns, Nasty? I never taught your incantations, but it looks like you've learned it on your own. A kind of imitation. How did you... And your bone pen. Your... That's not important, Viola. What I need to know is what happened to you here. Not important. Viola's suddenly silent. The creeping branches come to a standstill. An instant later, they start to spread in the opposite direction, encroach upon what's left of Viola. The fusion is progressing. This roosting tree has shared your memories with me. Where you went, what you did. Yeah, she doesn't really have many hips. I can share more important things. I saw you dig for answers in the great library of Lich for days and nights. You ruined your eyesight, but the Kermgion and Fairmount kicked you out in the end. Yeah, she's not. She's actually, like, kind of square-shaped. Or rectangular. I should have told him that you were never a foolish child. It was because of me. I saw you bind your horns and attach Falby's feathers to them every day. Just to sneak into the city of the Sanctum to find food. Damn! But it was bad for your horns. That's why the one on the right stopped growing, isn't it? Oh! That's terrible. I feel so bad for her. I saw you sleep on metal scaffolds, where there were no leaves to give you shade. You didn't build a treehouse either. You just used a simple metal plate. Basically, she has a deformation from trying to survive. How could anyone sleep like that? Did you get sick? Isn't that all half of Hoyo women? I don't know. I don't play Hoyo games. Nasty listens to her go on and on. The voice is distorted, barely recognizable, but the words of concern are familiar. Violet used to say these things when they lived in Convalis. Nasty realizes she is not looking at the problem that needs to be solved, nor a patient who needs to be treated. She is looking at a worried mother who needs to be understood. Nasty lowers her bone pen. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell you that. Fern told me how you looked when she found you. There were burns from arts, holes from bullets, and gashes from sandstorms all over you. You walked the path that I once did, only harder and more painfully. You could have died. You should have stayed in the Convalis. There was nothing more I could do for the valley. For Lacomaline. For the children. You already done so much. The lies you weave for the sake of all the banshees. I knew it. They couldn't fool you. I began to sense something was off soon after you brought me to the Convalis. You kept the lie going for 200 years. This is my greatest achievement at custodian the valley, and my greatest sin. 200 years. Do you mean that war? Yes. The king of Sarkath at the time was an old and foolish. It was not just the royal courts. Even outsiders thought they could turn him into a puppet, and those control all of Sarkaz. It was already a bad year. Catastrophe raked the land once. Then the Alliance's guns raked it all. Oh no. Oh no. The green feline. It's over! No! If she monologues. The green feline appeared on the horizon, leading a wall of steel that stretched as far as the eye can see. Which were the Steam Knights? Which were the Spirecasters? Which were the Vox Guards? I couldn't tell. No, 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 no! It's worse! It's her ungrateful bitch daughter? I don't know what they learned to build ships of steel and tubes that breathe fire. All I remember is the Tower of Wendigos that could only whimper as they were crashed beneath the ships and our kin fell burning from the sky like broken kites. Yes, these are Steam Knights. No one who heard the wailing that night could ever forget it. The wailing of the banshee. Daughter-in-law? I don't know what she is, man. Quite frankly, I don't care. I don't want any part of it. The Steam Knights, though, are very cool. We couldn't tell if we were delivering death or delivering the dead. All we could do was wail and howl, hardly able to put together a single coherent elegy. There were less than 1,000 of us left when the Allied forces withdrew from Kazdel. Half of us had lost our voices. Because of our nature, the banshees never miss a single war in Sarkaz. But such losses were unprecedented. I survived by sheer chance and left the blood-soaked land of sorrows, trying to find a place where life still remained. The Clavalis. I hope you're right, Taylor. If we get a Steam Knight unit, that would be really cool. The Clavalis. The vast mist lake separates it from the outside. The seasons come to a still in the golden woods. It's a quiet place, one that seemed like it didn't belong to the Sarkaz. I hope so. I really hope so. There's nothing that could belong to Sarkaz. Yes, me believed it at the time. Me, Aquamarine, and the new king chosen by the crown. We believed in the new life of the Sarkaz. Aquamarine and I took our remaining kin to the Clavalis, built a dock by Mist Lake, and built our court in the forest. For the first time, we added symbols of life into the Song of the Banshee, guided the trees to bear rich fruit, and vines to weave themselves to bridges with incantations. For the first time, the Banshees settled in a single place. They no longer had to sleep with only the night sky as their blanket, traveling from one death to another. Would you prefer a boss or an operator, though, Punchy? But tokens from the outside soon came flying in like snowflakes. Tokens announcing death. Yes. Not even Teresa or Teresis could solve the problem left behind by the war overnight. Yes, death lingers, long after the smoke has cleared. We made dried fruit out of the first harvest. It was barely enough for a few hundred banshee to make it through the coldest month of winter. That's true. But my tokens in my room, the murky blood crystals of the vampires, tattered shrouds of the Nigxeres, the shriveled rose and hearts the Ja have become. They soon piled higher, much higher than our drier fruit. I knew that if we went out to deliver the dead at the time, we would return to our old path. But the catalyst for change was one with the lives of thousands upon thousands more. So you made the choice on behalf of all the banshees. I made the choice. I convinced Aquamarine. I concealed all the tokens announcing death coming from outside. Occasionally, a banshee might leave the Clavalis to deliver our kin, but I chose the people carefully and sparingly. Aquamarine faced much criticism outside. For a long time, we believed that we could cast aside our nature and lead a different life. If banshees could do it, so could all Sarkaz. Even if the price was that the owners of the token would never find their way to the myriad of souls. Even if the price was that the banshees, having violated nature, were swallowed by lifespans of emptiness, destined to endure a long and painful journey upon forgetting their deathbed. 200 years passed. 200 years we have endured, until I met you. Damn. That's why I had to leave. How many deaths did you tell the others about each month? More people die in Kazdel every day. You could fool the others, but you knew that I knew from the beginning. Ooh, good luck, Behua! Aquamarine was right. You're too smart, and you grew up into Kazdel. I could not have fooled you. But I hope you could live in the Clavalis. Not just because your mother was one of the many thousand souls that I turned a blind eye to. Not just because I owed you a happy childhood for failing to respond to the last wish in time. But also because I hope that the Clavalis, the sanctuary that was built in hope of seeking a new life for the Sarkaz, will at least be able to take in a child from outside after 200 years. I took the child who's most likely exposed my lie in as my daughter. You carefully kept me away from the other banshees. Ultimately, your hopes for the Clavalis fell through. I made many mistakes in my life, but there's none I regret more than your departure. You were always a smart girl. I've thought about it many times, that if I told you the truth about things, you could have understood and played along whatsoever. If that was the case, then perhaps you wouldn't have. No, I would have left regardless. Oh, another view! Man, I really like Nasty. I remember the day we parted. You called out to me. I didn't turn around, but I looked down at the water. There was no wind on Mist Lake that day. The boat sailed across the water like a knife cutting through a piece of paper. I saw your face clearly, reflected in the still water. You wept when I said I was leaving, but let out a sigh of relief, so small, so imperceivable, that perhaps you didn't even think I noticed it yourself. Deep down, you wanted me to leave, didn't you? We were co-conspirators in the parting. Haven't you realized it, Viola? It is the Covalis, not me, that is truly your daughter. Oh. Ooh, hopefully. You discovered it, entrusted the Sarkaz future to it, and built it with pavilions and boats, fruits and cakes. It's really nice and really depressing. Your love for it grew as time passed. There were two reasons why you brought me back to the Covalis: to make amends for the price you paid for it, and to verify whether it has grown the way you hoped it would. My departure brought relief, because the one who could expose the fragile lie that ties the Covalis together left. My departure also brought anguish, because it proved that the valley could not carry the burden you hoped it would, even after 200 years. It was too fragile to accept the child who grew up in Kazdel, much less become the future abode of all Sarkaz. Nasty, don't... Do you know the answer, Viola? You left the Covalis, came here and merged with this tree, which is like the roosting tree yet different. Did you do it for me? For yourself? Or simply out of obsession? What are you running from, Viola? Are you running from death? From the failure of the Covalis? From the fact that you are dying and there's nothing else you can do for the Covalis' future? Tell me, help me understand and put an end to this error. Damn. That was a long one. No matter what, we have to finish, though. We have to finish no matter what. It ends today. We have no extra day. No sudden moves. You know, I'm sure we can talk about this like reasonable people. All the rioters are here. Shut them in the lower level jail. We'll hand them over to the courts when we arrive to DC. It's almost time. Double check your parachutes unless you want to end up in a puddle. What? Someone pressed the detonate button early? Impossible. We're less than a kilometer from the district. Wait, the government buildings are getting smaller. We're moving away from the capital? Looks like events are moving faster than your plans to catch up, aren't they? You never intended to stop the explosion. You were just stalling for time for the plate to turn? Do you think we had the means to go toe-to-toe with well-trained units? Anubis, welcome in! I am almost out of tea and I still have 2 nodes. Whether or not my voice will make it, we have no idea. Events moving faster than the plans can catch up. Change of plans! Lower level, evacuate by the planned routes. Upper level, protect the civilians around you, prepare the parachute. Point 0, detonate. Third coffee in 4 hours? No, it does not count. Get some water in you. What's going on? The broadcast gone dark. Are the screen outside getting a signal? You're still thinking about the broadcast? Didn't you hear the emergency management evacuation warning? Serious accident has occurred in the levitation layer. All floating facilities will fall from the sky in less than 10 minutes. Hurry up and get yourself to emergency shelters. Oakley? Are you calling Oakley sexy? This basic man? Fall from the sky? Oakley looks up to see hundreds of floating pods turn into fireballs in the sky, marring the clear skies with smoke and ash. Without the gentle touch of sunlight, the cloud-like pods turn back into chunks of metal, crashing down on the lower level. Oh, the dudes with the glowies. Look out! That was a close call. Thanks. You're a tester? Which company? I don't remember you. Now's not the time for introductions, Oakley. The streets are exposed. You risk getting hit by falling debris. You should go into the emergency shelter quickly. Alright. Falling. Tumbling down. Fern's heart is beating so hard. She feels like it might escape her ribcage at any moment. She tries her best to control her breathing. The straps on the side of the helmet slap her face, indicating just enough pain to fend off fear from falling. In an instant, the signal of the detonator travels through the connected conduits, igniting all the floating facilities at the same time. Fern leaps from platform 7 before it loses all power. Damn! The falling pod streaks past Fern like a black meteor. The bright-colored paint is burned off the advertisement, and melted cables flail in the air, giving off a bitter smell of tar. The whole levitation layer sways meekly in the air like a deflated balloon. Lucky Sistebes. One boot. Beachbrella. Fern watches these companies' logos fall together with her. Now this is a scene that rivals Sunset and Bleach Wasteland, she thinks. Mr. President, a second balloon has fallen! Oh no. Pull the parachute, Fern! Oops, almost forgot. The updraft lifts the feline slender frame. The parachutes come together to form a massive cloud. Did we do it? The people on the ground don't know what's happening. It must be a shock for them to see the investments and products turn to ash. They're safe at least. The piece of the levitation layer would have fallen on top of their heads if the plate didn't turn around. Besides, they'll never find out that they were scheming and plotting to stop them from dreaming. Where do we go next? You could certainly go back to Northville to see your wife. Sure. What about after that? After that? Let's talk about that when we get back to the standing on terra firma and looking up at the sky. The light of the burning fire illuminates the people's faces, but there's little regret in their hearts. They gaze upon Polar Paradise, now beyond recognition. I have actually never played Final Fantasy VII. The remains from Polar Paradise scattered across the barren lands between the district and the plate, like gifts that have been returned. Fern closes her eyes in relaxation. She comes back down to Earth with Paradise. Yeah, they were able to redirect it instead of like killing a huge amount of people for a false flag. The elderly banshee said her kin were like broken kites as they fell burning from the sky in the war from 200 years ago. Now though, she is like a kite that has too many strings attached, the branches and roots tugging at her as she floats in midair. A kite nothing could ever ruin, as she had wished. The roosting tree. That was the name I gave it. I built huts beneath it, and made it abode of every banshee. But all I felt was fear when La Cour Marine brought me to its roots. It was like a great void that could not be illuminated by the moons, by candles, or by fireflies. It was still and silent, sucking away my memory a little bit at a time. I could smell decay in the darkness, a decay that we could not reverse. Not even the children of soil and stone could. It was a constant reminder of how pathetic the Covalis was. In the end, Lady Teresa and Lady Theseus found a future for the Sarcast through war and death. Meanwhile, Afinal continues to see a new future for the Banshees. But me and my valley, it is nothing more than a failed sanctuary that quietly awaits death. There is nothing more I can do for it. So you ran away from the roosting tree, ran away from death. Why here, though? Everywhere outside the Cavalis was the same. Gray and chaotic, impossible to navigate. There was only one path that I remembered. Those unfamiliar names that you said. Athenian, Laterano, Columbia. I followed the names, followed your scent, not knowing to what end the path led, and what I would do there. I just didn't want the tree to turn me into an empty husk. I'm like trying to get cozy in the chairs for like 2 hours already. It's over! But you chose to go to another tree. I was filled with sorrow when I saw that you planted another roosty tree here. When I felt the spread of decay, I thought you were going to repeat our mistake. Even if we couldn't take the Cavalis roosting tree, I wanted to do something for this one. Even if all I could do was stay as decay and save your sorrow for a while. Gotta learn to levitate? Maybe I can like borrow some things from the levitation layer. It's okay, we'll survive. We will do this. When I saw it with my own eyes, I realized there was nothing I can do for it. But it could save me. The roosting tree only takes memories. But this one shares. It shares the story of the Cavalis, of your journey. It makes me feel like I'm alive. No, I don't want to be part of Overwatch. Take it back. No, that's cursed. I'm sorry, Nasty. I had fused with the tree before I stopped the path from collapsing. Once again, I deceived you. That's why you're so lucid. That's why the tree rejects my incantations. You rewrote its grammar and changed its operating logic. It keeps you alive, and you keep it running, even though neither of you are what you used to be. No, I don't want to! At least make me an OP one! You're like a program that relies on a bug to keep running. Bug? Program. Like a withered tree that relies on a parasitic vine to remain standing. It's not so bad, is it? If this can keep it from withering, then I've finally done something useful for you, for the Banshees, for Sarkaz. I can bring it back to Cavalis. Bring you back. That would be pointless. No, it's over. Why? Why is the tree not responding to me? That means it's working. The outer case of the device Nasty's carrying on her belt falls away with a crack. Paper tapes pour out, laying themselves out around her as if she's following an invisible blueprint, forming an elaborate and organized framework. The tapes are filled with tiny holes that represent incantations, coming together to build Nasty's unique language and safeguard her unique rules. Reject the anarchic? I don't even know how to say that. Spreads their branches. I said I must understand before I can put an end to this error. Now I do. Nasty raises her pen and writes down a function, an incantation. Reconstruct. No, the memories of the tree is shared with me. They're disappearing. Nasty! What are you doing? Wiping the preloaded data in the tree. All that is shared with you is only temporary data for experimentation. I know that you don't want to forget. But what you truly want to remember and retain are not these hodgepodge data put together for experiments. Even if it's so. Please, don't make the last thing I see be the sight of you destroy your life's work. You walked such a long road and suffered so much for it. To you, the Cavalis was your life work. But I've never had one. I have a goal. This tree is the means to it. My judgment of it is not based on how much I committed to it, only whether it can achieve my goal. You hope that fusing with it would keep it from withering, but not withering won't make it any more useful. Just like the roosting tree of the Covalis. I don't want to be cruel, but the roosting tree never truly consoled the dying. It is no more than a simple phobie tree, bent under the weight of incantations. It's native to the genus Phobodis, in the family of the Tingalasiminobarcae, and its wood is commonly used for buildings in Southeast Terra. I had an elf colleague verify its nature after I joined Rhine Lab. It became the roosting tree of Covalis because you saw it as a symbol and mourned its change. It has withered because you've reached the end of its natural lifespan. That is all. Even the colors that run through its branches, merely the result of exposure to incantations over the years. I don't remember how it used to look anymore. But nasty, if it's truly so, why does your tree look so much like the roosting tree? Panda, welcome in! Because it reminds me of you. Just as you think of me. Do you know why I planted this tree? I remember the day we parted. Music again. We're doing this? Okay, we're doing this. You were calling to me, but I turned back because some words can no longer be said once you see the other person's face. But I couldn't help but look at your face reflected in the water. I wanted to remember how you looked. And your tears flow across the lines made by old ones, as if it was a fixture on your face. I spent more than a decade with you in the Covalis. I never saw you without tear marks on your face. Life in the valley was good. I would have chosen the Covalis over Kazdel every time, 100 times over. But Vaela... Was there a single moment that you weren't in pain over the course of your 200 years in the Covalis? At first I thought I could wipe away your tears and make you smile with simple methods. You spent a whole day wiping my face with mist apple pulp. It was only later that I learned why you were in pain. The source of your pain was decision, the lie. The kin who suffered because you defied their nature. The kindred who could not return to the myriad souls because there was no one to deliver them. They were the source of your pain. To solve your problem, I must solve the problem of the Banshees. The problem of the Sarkaz. The answer lies outside the Covalis, outside of Kazdel, in a place that I don't know. Oh God! So, someone pointed out that in Enfield, Sarkaz are just Sarkaz. And like, at the time it was an issue. People were like, why are they not like mistreating the Sarkaz? Why is it just like cool now? Why is everything okay? Nasty solved the issue of the Sarkaz. Nasty figures it out. Oh my God, Nasty figures... You know what? Good for you, girl. As I indulged into such fantasies, I saw you, and I sail in the sky. Did she do a Sarkaz? No, 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 no. No, no, the opposite. Remember, the Sarkaz right now are seen as the villains of this world. Yeah, she fought the CEO of racism. The reflected sky. It was calm, windless day, but suddenly there were water ripples without warning, wiping away the eternal tear marks on your face. It almost looked like you were smiling. Yeah, this is a good thing. Nasty, like, makes it. Yeah, exactly. So, like, Nasty meets her goal. There's no way they don't. So no, not from this point onward. This is an Enfield. Nasty's trying to solve the entire issue of the Sarkaz right now. And I'm pretty sure thanks to her in Enfield, is why we have the entire peace among the Sarkaz that we have. Because, like, now we have Sarkaz there, and they're not just discriminated for being Sarkaz. Yeah, Sarkaz, as he's trying to solve generational issues, she will solve generational trauma. And so, I began to think of the sky whenever I thought about how to make you smile. Perhaps, the sky is where we could find our sanctuary, and abode for our souls. The Sarkaz promised land could also be in the sky. And all the things you did, this tree in the sky, that's where it all began. Access security camera image. Falling like a broken kite. Looks like Maylanders successfully carried out their plan. The entire capital will bear witness to the fall of Propeller Paradise. But the tremors came from the ground plate. Did Gordon... Will we fall too? Not sure. I've undone the fusion and reset the tree, restoring it to an operable state. But the tree itself is not yet complete. At least save yourself, Nasty. 3 years ago, Fennel added a condition to my hypothesis that he delivered the myriad souls. 2 years ago, a friend split the sky and showed me the path to the future. But I'm still one step away from the answer. What is to come will depend on whether we find it. We're in the sky, but I don't see the answer. Everything has fallen. The sky is empty. Yes, the sky has always been empty. It is we who must fill it. For you, Viola, I don't think the answer is in the sky. It's in you. Oh. That is a really good visual. Welcome in, Chaos! It really is. I can hear the roars, the hatred, the cries that surround you. The kin I delivered and failed to deliver. Vampires, Noxxers, Jog, and Banshees. I've wiped away the preloaded temporary experiment data from the tree. It's your own frustration, rage, and sorrow that binds you now. The music is so nice. Like every Banshee that you sent away the last 200 years. Like every Sarkaz that returned to the myriad souls since the beginning of time. That is why our people are made empty by painful oblivion. That is why the myriad souls are always roaring, always angry, always wailing. But if we leave behind the residue information in death, the myriad souls are merely the collective of such residues. Why shouldn't it be a joy and song that remains? Does our nature prevent it? No. To process residuals information, build a server. If coverage on the ground isn't enough, raise it to the sky. Not just a sanctuary for the living. The tree will become an abode for the departed as well. This time, however, we decide what we leave behind. Thank you. I might have to look into it later. Strat, welcome in. Oh. That's beautiful. I really like this artwork. This one's really good. Perhaps it wasn't function that the tree was missing. It was a command, a decision, a sincere wish. Tell me the answer, Viola. What is it you truly want to leave behind? You're not wrong, Punchy. It really is. That tree. I will preserve that memory for you. Me too, Taylor. Me too. Oblivion will never claim what you want to leave behind. I don't know. You don't know. At first, I just wanted to save our kin from pain, from anger, from sorrow. But I no longer know how that can be achieved. If Neither Corvallis nor the roosting tree can accomplish it. Is there any meaning in leaving anything behind? Yeah, honestly, Strat, I'm sorry. You're just VODs. Viola. Nasty wanted to do something, say something, but no sound comes out from her lips. She is normally not the one to deal with hypotheticals, but she could not help but think, if she finished the tree and took her people to the sanctuary in the sky sooner, would her mother have a comforting memory to cling on? Hundreds of pods falling, burning from the sky, like black meteors, like heavy raindrops, like broken kites. Mother and daughter gazed at each other silently, as they hoped it would make the moment of eternity. Honestly, you didn't solve it, but you did give her one last moment to, like, let her see the woman you're becoming. No. You were never one to stop walking, Nasty. Once you've decided on a path, you will see it through to the end. Don't stop now. Don't let me take away the meaning of what you've accomplished. My life may have no meaning, but there must be some meaning to all that you've done. If this tree is a new abode for the souls of the Sarkaz, then let me be its first denizen. Damn! Oh! I gave you a home 20 years ago. Now you've given me one. Yes, this was the final boss. When the children stand around the tree to listen to its voice, I want it to be your laughter that they hear, not your weeping. And I want to remember your smile when I think of you. Nasty, my child. I've had good memories. Memories that made me smile. I remember it was... No! She cannot finish the sentence. Half a year has passed since she realized that she was beginning to forget, and fled to her hut under the roosting tree, following Nasty's trail all the way to Columbia. A journey far too long for a dying banshee. It was not the reunion that she had hoped for, but as the obsession that carried her to this point fell apart, death has finally caught up to her. Countless scenes fade from Viola's memory and become vivid before Nasty's eyes. The banshee's oral still lies in her hand. She hears the lament. The king who painted the same dream with her has passed in a faraway place that she cannot see. The banshee stands still beneath the roosting tree. She spent 3 months witnessing her kin fall victim to oblivion and become an empty husk, the price they paid for her lies, and there was nothing she could do about it. The banshee kneels still on the floor of a dilapidated house. She promised to deliver a gargoyle who helped her in the past, but all that was left was the tip of the petrified tail. The banshee's sorrow regrets are infinite, flowing past Nasty like a river without end. After all these memories have faded, there is one last thing that's left. One tiny, brief fragment. The banshee's putting a child to bed. A girl who she brought back to the Corvallis. Her eyes are filled with fatigue as she looks at her old friend, but all she would talk about is how lovely the child is. She used to be a child once. She opens her eyes and sees this land for the first time. She does not know whether it is good or bad. But Nasty can see that she is smiling. Time passes through the banshee, like the wind across the surface of Mist Lake, leaving nothing behind. Viola fades away into the sky. A leaf gently drifts down. I'll catch you and remember you, Mother. Nasty catches the leaf gently, as her mother once picked a leaf from the tree for her. One does not need a bone whistle to accompany a smile. After a long silence, she blows a tune with the leaf. Like threads, The notes weave the gentlest incantation that she has ever weaved. Be at peace. Chaos, I can see why you really enjoyed that scene. That was a beautiful scene. Now, this chud? Really? Really? I'd like to make you a bet with you, Miss Wilson. How many sky stocks do you think young Pavard, that honest and serious secretary of mine, will go and buy once he delivers the balloons? We slayed her? Technically, yes. But the truth is she was already dying. It sounds bad, but we kind of put her out of her misery in a way. Yeah, she was going anyway. Well, she wasn't going. She was holding on, but not for the right reasons. 0. The end of the line at the stock exchange was 2 blocks away when I just came. The last time I saw this level of excitement in the district was when the Department of Defense decided to send troops to Bolivar. I still have one of those cactus hats in my office. You would, Jackson, you would! Think of it like removing life support, Taylor, you're not wrong. People went to the streets wearing those hats, shouting slogans, and turning the veins of DC green. I haven't seen those hats in a long time. No one wants their taxes turned to guns. Not since Robert Mackenzie and his feat of saving Bolivar from the Bolivians became the butt of every radio jokes. Everyone wears a propeller on their heads now. A blue propeller hat that spins. It's awfully noisy, to tell you the truth. I hear there's a new version that automatically plays the rock song every Colombian knows when the propeller spins. I grew up listening to Tara Bless Us and City Way 66. I once thought the song of our time would be Goodnight Arc 1. Turns out it would be Goodnight Kristen Wright. Stop! 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 We don't need to bring her. I nearly had one day without being reminded that my dog's out there in the sky. The obsession that Colombians here have the future will never change, but the one they're following seems to have changed while we weren't looking. Kristen never intended to become an idol. It really is, Strat. The Department of Defense never intended to become a joke. It never occurred to any of us when we raised the glass to the failure of the DoD that it wasn't just the DoD who loses credibility. The people listening to the late night radio over the pot of mac and cheese don't differentiate between the DoD, Congress, or the cabinet after all. As you said yourself, these days the masses seem more willing to take inspiration from legend or miracle. Jara is complicated. She's important. Yeah, valid, Taylor. Sometimes, however, we need to take a turn to gaze back to the soil that nurtures a miracle. Back to Colombia. Finally, we lay our eyes on Propeller Paradise. Not a day has passed since we don't ever think about it, ever since that fateful night 2 years ago. The synchronized aerial turn that we just witnessed is a testament to the skill of our test pilots, even in times of peace. Yeah, I forgot she's TP's grandmother. Now Propeller Paradise reveals its miracle to us. This wonderful spectacle of Colombian dream. Demonstrating that, declaring that, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. Silence. Every media outlet, every channel, voices rich or coarse or sharp or warm, all fall silent at the same time. The entrepreneurs and investors on the streets, along with thousands upon thousands of ordinary people, fall silent too. It's Cole! Welcome in! A few minutes. The only sound in Max DC is the sound of the propeller hats. Depends who you ask, Punchy. We almost did? Or depends on who you asked on 9/11. I'll leave it at that. The rustling sound they make, like falling leaves, is the only accompaniment of the spectacular disaster witnessed by millions in the capital. Turn on the television, doesn't matter which channel! Turn their gazes back to the soil that nurtures a miracle. Back to Colombia. A terrorist attack? A premeditated act of terror. Investigators confirmed that the explosion was caused by a batch of arts weapons smuggled in disguise as general parts. The weapons can be traced to numerous Centrum nations, including Casimiris, which has long since abandoned the ways of chivalry, and Lithuanian, the ancient nation of casters, have used their despicable tricks against us. The voice of progress files silent tonight. It is the darkest day in Colombia's 80-year history. The nation is waiting for me to speak. I should tell them. They have destroyed more than just an exhibition. They have destroyed the hopes and dreams that every Colombian has entrusted to it. I should tell them. The shameless, heinous act was committed by those who envy our splendor, trying to make our people timid and afraid. I should tell them, but they're doomed to fail. Colombia will never be defeated. No conspiracy can stop the lamp and star from shining bright in the west. And then, Colombians will eagerly turn their taxes into guns again. Everything that they fairly devoted to the propeller paradise, all those sky stalks and the spinning propeller hats, will turn into shields and swords. When the smoke clears, the empty sky will be more inflammatory than any speech. Yeah, the way that it became idolized, it was doomed to become a joke. Because, like, I don't know if they do it in elementary schools now, but definitely after a while, it was just one of those things that it became never forget, but overplayed. And the tragedy wasn't felt anymore. The Oppenheimer. Yeah. There were memes where Japan was trying to basically use 9/11 similar to Oppenheimer, but at the same time, like, we kind of do that. We do that a lot. The winds of the wilderness of Colombia have never stopped, mercilessly blowing away the smoke and cloud that surround propeller paradise. The sky feels even emptier than before, after all things bright and beautiful have fallen. But it's not entirely empty. The tree. No! Don't do this to me! Oh, the theme. Is the set playing tricks on my eyes? I see it as you do, Miss Vice President. As do millions of people in DC. Floating platforms supported by a complicated system of massive hot air balloons and propellers have fallen. Floating labs of many shapes and sizes have fallen. The ropeway system that connected the levitation layer has fallen, along with hundreds of pods. The saucer-shaped tower that linked the ground to the sky has fallen, along with the elevator that it supports. Only one thing rises through the clouds, to the bright skies of Colombia. This might be lone troll time. It might be lone troll time. Message from Landlander, sir. Propeller Paradise has stopped moving towards the capital. It is now headed for the southeastern border, accelerating. Maylander believes they'll be trying to escape Colombia, which would be an act of treason. Mechanized unit on the borders are moving to cut off Propeller Paradise potential routes. More importantly, the unknown object in the sky has already been locked onto our defense artillery, deployed along with the district route. With your speech about to begin, they want to hear how you define it. The Department of Defense recommends opening fire immediately. and sticking with the current narrative. Maylander has raised the possibility of conveying a different message to the survival of this facility. But they've also noted the risk of doing so. The facility was created by Ryan Lab, after all. Before they do anything, I'd like to get a good look at this thing myself. Yeah, just shoot it out of the fucking sky! A tree. A tree. Ryan certainly has style, doesn't it? A tree-shaped facility. Do you know what it is? I have no idea. I suppose I'm here to lighten the mood while you vent about Ryan. Huh. Well, it doesn't matter. It will soon stop mattering to the people, just like the balloon that couldn't fly. In the DoD's game, it will become an infant slaughtered by knights, an envoy killed by the Witch King. Its fall will drive the rise of the people's wrath. In Maylander's proposal, it will become the next symbol of the Colombian spirit. Its silhouette printed on every hat that leaves the factories for the next decade. Is that so? All I see is a tree. You see those foul beasts, brushing their feathers and honing their beaks. They've accepted that it's a tree. A tree that they can roost on. A tree rising from the wounds of Colombia. How should people understand it? They don't have to. Just as you didn't need to understand the mobile mining platform in the wilderness that you skipped classes to watch when you were young. Did you know it was carrying a group of ambitious pioneers? Or desperate debtors? Did it return with the full load of riches? Or was it simply drifting aimlessly? Huh. All I know is that I really didn't want to take a test that day. And the mining platform happened to be chasing the setting sun. No. From the, German event. Lithuanian. A mining platform chasing the setting sun. And a flying tree. No, we have one more node! They're not so different, are they? What is your position, Mr. Vice President? I'm the Vice President of the Colombian Union. With this position comes responsibility. I can't skip classes to watch a mining platform chase the setting sun like I used to. Still, that was indeed what made me feel something about the soil of Colombia for the first time. And you've lost it! You've lost it, Jackson! The sky is the soil that nurtures the future Colombia. I'm sure there's enough room for a flying tree. Yeah, these last couple of nodes have been long. One more, we're done. Yeah, the tree looks beautiful. We're not gonna see Kristen. Kristen... We don't know what's happening to Kristen. Kristen is out there, and hopefully we see her in Enfield, but I don't think we'll ever see her in Arknights again. A remarkable speech, Mr. Vice President. People were moved to tears, even in Ryan Lounge. I didn't think it would move the most eccentric, most maverick scientist of Colombia. Look, man, I think I'm fine. I'm finishing it. But I've received enough flowers, banners, and strongly worded letters of support, and a soldier figures painted in my likeness over the last few hours. Not from Ryan. For the better, I suppose. Let's get back to the topic at hand. How should we define that tree floor in the sky, from a scientific perspective? No, Kristen will forever haunt the narrative. I actually don't mind it. Kristen is dreaming fire hydrants and frisbees? Man, reduced to that? If you really want to know the scientific principles behind it, I could spend the whole afternoon explaining how its roots spread across the land and its branches leave across the sky. From a scientific perspective, however, all you need to know that when it's fully grown, it'll be able to collect energy and information from across Colombia and process centrally. Saria! Saria! Don't tell him that! Don't tell government man that he'll connect information! What are you doing, woman? You mean an energy well like Shaft, but on a national scale. And a server too. Bi-directional to boot. The roots and branches go both ways. Not only from the ground to the sky, but also from the sky to the ground. No need to force yourself to understand these things. You can zone out the way you did when you visited the Trimon's headquarters. Oh, sorry, it's deep spit. No, no! Space oil? Oh, it's over. Columbia's all in. It was your words that saved the tree when dozens of guns from the Department of Defense and hundreds of cameras from Mainlanders media were pointed at it. Miss Wilson's words truly tugged at my heartstrings. Even an old man like me couldn't help but think back at the wild days of youth. I see. And there I was, thinking it was because you didn't want to give away the chance to find the tree to Mainlander or the Department of Defense. An exhibition, a speech, sky fever and patriotism made you overwhelming darling of public opinion over the other candidates in the span of just a few hours. But have you thought about the future you would need to paint in order to not let supporters down? Or was it always your plan to improvise your speech? You know about the understanding between Kristen and the Department of Defense. Kristen would build Arc 1, and it was none of Rye's business who the DoD used it against. Since I already have authority to find this tree, I don't suppose it would have been broken through the star pod before everyone's eyes, if I didn't discuss with Ryan going to find it. Yeah, Ryan Labs would be very similar to NASA. NASA is like an unloved child. Look, man, there is one government agency that I will always support, and that is NASA. Every other one, I don't think you could do that. But like, NASA, I'll always be their number one. I'll always be their number one, baby. Okay, there's a few ones, because, like, anything that protects the environment and, like, researches, I don't care, man. NASA can have my taxes. I'm happy with NASA having my taxes. Of course, you don't have to discuss it with anyone. Be it Nasty, myself, the generals, the lawmakers, or that plushie on your shoulder. I take back what I said about you when I was chatting with my secretary. What do you mean? You're easier to deal with than Kristen. State your demands. Lift the lockdown of Propeller Paradise and allow the escape plates to return to the capital's route for repairs. As for those involved in the incident... Escaped? That's not how DC will define what has happened. Researchers who stand on the front lines of Colombian science will never flee in the face of foreign sabotage, would they? What else? Lift the lockdown on Ryan Lab. You know what I'm talking about. You and I should hold an official meeting as soon as possible. We can't ask the government to undo something we haven't done. We've only ever been curious. What can Ryan Lab do? Seriously, is no one sleeping tonight? Should have held some night wilderness tours. Huh. You just wouldn't stay still, would you? Even with the plates broken down. I could say the same about you. You look like a clerk gazing blankly into the sky outside after coming back from vacation. Well, I was scared, but also excited. When we started fighting the Mainlander people. You almost scared me when you tried to bite that agent's finger off. I'm not a really emotional guy. Last time I was so excited was when I got approved for the Sky Loan. The loan shark was showing off levitating device at the entrance of the local bar. There's so many people watching that they broke the fence. Well, I thought Ryan had been mentioned in Enfield, had it not? I'm trying to think, has it not? In the end, it wasn't education or economic circumstances that decided who got the loan, but who could fly a drone the highest and furthest. Which was how you ended up being the sucker who got scammed into it. King, welcome in! That night, I simply bragged to my wife, showing off the finger I used to move the control stick and win a chance for the future. It was only a few days later that you realized there was no battery in the controller at all. Yeah, I should have never trusted myself when blood gets to my head. You came at the end. I'm sorry to break it to you. We're on the last node. Oh, and only mentions? Okay. You still changed the blockade with us without a second thought, didn't you? Yeah, now we're like cysty beasts to slaughter in the wilderness, waiting for the government to decide our future. I feel like an onion thrown into the washing machine, getting layers after layers peeled off with tides of feathers. Do you want to escape the washing machine, or do you want to be more than a powerless onion? A few years ago, I had an idea while going into the bleach wasteland for the third time. If I sneaked inside the truckload of pure gold ore and took it through the border checkpoint in broad daylight, Colombians would forget all of the terrifying legends in the blink of an eye and begin another great expansion, and it wouldn't be much different from what we're getting through. Even if it began with a bored tour guide rather than a scientist who split the sky, even if it was a hoax rather than a milestone. We always try to see new possibilities at the door marked impossible, to escape the laws and common sense that seem to have no end. To go somewhere else and live a different life. What do you mean? I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. We're not expanding the stream. You, me, the hundreds of Propeller Paradise testers, and even Ryan Lab research assistants. Sky, we're all the same. Bunny can't get out of the washing machine. But we can remember why we chose to go inside. If the government doesn't hang us all for treason tonight, I want to stay on Propeller Paradise, run like a cysty beast, and pay my debts. You deliver a letter to my wife. I don't really trust regular messengers. Would you like to join Fern's tours? I could deliver you. No! Ah! I thought we were free! I don't believe it. There can't be a single scientist on Terra like you. That's not hammering. He's just like slapping his hooves on the ground. What? Nathan, don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask. How did you meet Gustav? Did you know about his and Maylander's plan? Sounds of metal being polished. Shame I never actually got to teach him a lesson. The old facts run off with Maylander people after the levitation layer fell. He was taken away in handcuffs. Handcuffs? Huh! He wanted me to take the fall of Propeller Paradise. But he's the one who ends up going down. Sound of metal clanking. Good. You've been sitting here the whole day with those pliers and hammers. What are you studying? I'm preparing for a journey. There's no way he doesn't come back, Taylor! Don't lie to yourself! This is gonna be a reoccurring character, we know it! The Karanta gestures to the bottom of his shoes. Only then did Gordon realize the sound the Karanta makes when walking does not come from shoes. A piece of crescent-shaped metal. Nailed to your feet? Doesn't it hurt? Oh, it really is his hooves! I was joking! Woo! Oh my god, I was joking. I was joking! No. Feet are more trustworthy than shoes in treacherous terrain, such as the swamps of Sargon, the ice-fields Sami, the barrens of Columbia. So you don't plan on hiding your identity from me. My role is insignificant in this entire event. I simply came to help a friend, and made a new friend along the way. You see? He's coming back! They're setting him up to come back, and I'm so angry! I hope you're wrong. There's no way. He cannot be the, 8th anniversary. He cannot! I do so hate free spirits. You have enough experience to be my travel companion. You won't do it. ATO's gonna be purged after this accident. Why should I not go back when the old fax no longer has any influence? He's absolutely gonna be playable. There's no way he's not playable. He's gonna become an operator. Besides, you recognize everything in the collection room. I'd always be inferior to you if I traveled with you. Blame King of Sarcasm, not me! I didn't put that out there, he did! Oh man! I'll make good use of all the ATO resources available to me. You won't recognize 5-4 the next time you see it. I look forward to it. Is there any place you haven't been? Like beyond the star pod, I guess? There are many paths that no one has trodden before. Why do you talk like that? Oh my god! There's indeed comes a day where humanity stands among the clouds. I will continue to cast my gaze to the land. I saw you coming this time, Mercia. It's rare to see you not burying your head in work. Are you waiting for someone? And what about you? Your colleagues already pulled out of Propeller Paradise before the sun had set. Another rule of secretaries? You have to be the last one to leave? Just ran into a bit of trouble while packing. Hover. Oh, thank you. I was wondering how we could get down there. Yet you chose the most scenic route. One that would take you around the tree. I wanted to see the final resting place of Viola, your mother. I have a feeling Mercy is going to be in, like, NPC hell for a while. Her epithet is the leaves that grow upon it. Look up on your way out. She might have the wind carry one to you, if she still remembers you. You're not angry that I used Viola to complete Maylander's mission? You also defied Maylander's orders in order to help her. If it's to prison that you go from here, I would not consider it a shining example of Colombian justice. No need to worry about that. The Tin Man once decorated himself with the drone parts of Mrs. Celine discarded. Usefulness is not the only standard that he uses to judge. And this little rebellion won't be either. I think it's the one you were waiting for. I'll take my leave then. What are you talking about? At least Crown Slayer made it out. Crown Slayer actually got out there. Give me the parameter, Sky. That's okay. Thankfully, she's not limited. You can still get her. Transmission complete. Nothing out of the ordinary. The tree's in great shape. Okay, but like, it was still faster than Saga getting the skin. But you already know that, don't you? Just making sure the battle didn't wreck your brain. The first thing I learned on the streets of Triamont was how to fight. I wouldn't be here at Rhine in a fight or two could wreck my brain. Okay, okay, we're really off topic. Last off topic before I finish the event. I hope. Saga has a great skin, but we're cursed with the fact that her artist is just in love with Springfield. We're never getting another one. We got one great skin. He's back to Springfield. He's never leaving her. We're never getting another one. 0 crown slain. It's the truth. We know it's the truth. Springfield, girls frontline. That is his baby. I wish Saga was his baby. But no, it's Springfield. She might be irrelevant to meta, but at the same time, she'll always be relevant to me. GFE 1. Or GFL 1. Because I don't think he does much for GFL 2. But GFL 1, he does like all the skins. He puts a lot of love into his baby. Till I come back, you're in charge of the tree's regular maintenance. I need to review the project and all of our staff, workers, and testers in Propeller Paradise. I need you on top of your game. I got the projects, but the workers and testers, they've been asking what you liked. They wanted to give you a token of their appreciation before you leave. They stayed because of you, Director Lenori. What did you tell them? I don't know. I have no idea what you like other than our work. She will always be there. She's my baby girl. Take a Star Pod War stamp to Pip tomorrow. He'll tell you everyone's personality and interest. Director. The first thing I learned in the Baron's liaison was how to deal with people. What do you like then? It's not hard to find out. It's time to go. I leave the tree in your hands. Huh? What about the one you were waiting for? He used to traveling alone. He probably already left. Left? But we're in the Barren Lands! He'll find a way. It's not my fault women are wonderful. Hey, stop! This is Rhineland HQ. Visitors need to be registered over here. I noticed you the moment you walked in. Hard not to, given the clatter you do when you're walking. Did you just come back from the Barrenlands or something? At least change your clothes if you want to steal company secrets. Why? You're kidding me! What the? Director level access? Who are you? I'm sorry. I'll take you upstairs now. The others are waiting for you in the conference room. Thank you. Saria's fit here looks so nice. Pat, 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 pat. Pat, 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 pat. Don't you have a lake to be in? That's the gist of this. The rest of the details are on the slide. Propeller Paradise are docked with Max DC. The district will now proceed to perform repairs and take inventory. Hundreds of tech firms, more than 1,000 research projects in the sky and flight, and some 20 to 30,000 people. It will take months to complete. Fortunately, Sari's negotiating with Jax was a success, and the Rhine engineering section will be able to focus on work on Propeller Paradise. Skyjagger is now in charge till I get back. He's matured a lot. Wow. How did you develop with the new guys? Good work, Nasty. You mean ignore Moo? You want me to ignore Moo, trust me. You want me to ignore. Shouldn't you be happy? You guys get a wife. Take her. Definitely not here. She is busy choking me with her tail again. Thanks for your help. I would like to thank you even more if you deleted the photos where you make my faces with my appearances. Nah, I don't think so. Say, aren't you gonna tell them about your mom? No. Something's different about you. Not sure what exactly, but in a good way. Nasty. Alright. Alright. I came to terms with a few things. Strengthen my resolve with a few things, that's all. No! No! Is that who he is? I didn't mean to leave the lab to watch your little tat-for-tat. You've been a little too committed to science later for a Nan. It's almost starting to miss the days where you're scheming left and right to take over the company. And why did you think that I'm not doing that? As you recall, it was my breakthroughs in the high energy physics that kept all our sectors afloat these past 2 years, ladies. Yeah, sure. Thank you for your help. I'm guessing Dorothy didn't come to the meeting because she didn't want to hear you gloat. She went back to Site 359 right after the inquiry. She said she had a few dreams. Girl never looks forward. Sorry, that's erasing the experiment results concerning the tree to my mailbox. We're not here to discuss Propeller Paradise matter, are we? Of course not. Then who are we waiting for? Perhaps you might be interested in seeing data from the Infi ice field? You're back, Miriam. Finally. Why did they make him take everything off except for a shirt that— oh my god. It's over for us, Taylor. It's over for us. Sorry, it's been a long since I've been in Colombia. It took me some time to fit my hoof irons. Broke them in the walk to DC to try mounts. I'm glad I didn't wait for your propeller paradise. I had a car that would have taken us both to Rhine Lab together. No, he's not even being subtle about it! I hate it! We're so cooked. Oh my god, we're so cooked. Family photo? Can we remove the horse? We don't need Miriam. We don't need Miriam! Oh my god. You know, I never considered that at all. Someone obsessed with research for death in every corner of Terra would be used to working alone. I figured. Takes 2 people with director level access to activate the core unit of the tree. I'd wonder who Saria had sent to help Nasty. The legend's already a pile of bones in the wilderness. The media questions the director of Ryan's scientific investigation section even exists. There's no better choice, but... You want to know who arranged it? Justin Jr. He had some investments in Capat. And no sooner had I left the Infi ice fields to get him in touch. He told me to go to Colombia, straight to DC. I got Gustav's invitation soon after. Justin Jr. had obviously, let's say, pulled a few strings. Then why did I come back to Rhine? I found a fragment of the spherical superstructure in the depths of the NC ice field, where the rootless flowers bloomed the brightest. You guessed it. Yes, the structure from Kristen's files mentioned. She said the people in the old times called it Called a Stargate?! What?! God damn it, the horse is gonna be useful. The horse is gonna be useful. No, the horse is useful. Oh, this is my nightmare. Yeah, he's gonna be playable. Oh my god, this is the worst thing for me. No, no solo Hauntspan, no! Oh, this is my nightmare! I'm sure Saria will share the information with you soon. Any more questions for Anan? I thought not. Nothing changed about how you ask and answer your own questions, Miriam. You left Fernet with nothing left to say. Alright, looks like everyone's here. This meeting's rather overdue. For the past 2 years, all mainstream Colombian media and tech tabloids have made the same judgment. The gap between Gallery Solaria disappeared as a scar upon the star pod, and a scar upon Rhine. They even come up with the whole narrative of the cancellation of Rhine's end-of-year cocktail party. We were all busy, that's all. Yes, but now we finally have some time. 10-star haunts? No! Look, man. I know it's inevitable. Just like I know a certain altar that's coming is inevitable. But I will complain loudly. The joint project between engineering and ecological has some unexpected twists and turns, but the final result was a smashing success. Nassi, you're now holding the key to the brand new domain. If we keep it in our hands. Miriam's discovery about NC Icefield has proven beyond all doubt that these strange tales that Kristen collected are, indeed, based on fact. Perhaps they'll help us rebuild the dialogue with the old era. And Mulsis has brought back data from our observation station in Yerag. Data that's very interesting, or very dangerous. I'm sure you heard about the events in Bolivar. 20 science teams have gone missing in the Black Flow. A guard class for Rhine Labs? No, he's gonna be every class, because this man's a Mary Sue. He's gonna be every single one a 10-star, and he's gonna be the bane of my existence. Yes, remember, Mulesys was there and was helping with all the information there. Explorers and schemers will be excited if there's any development with that swamp. Rhyme should act too, Saria. Magalan! Magalan's already on her way. Wait! If Magalan's on her way, does that mean that we might get asbestos as well? Please tell me we'll get, like, an asbestos story. Oh my god, I'm begging you. The events and phenomena that unfold in this Christian incident indicate the most well-hidden secrets of Terra, all lead to the same answer. It will tell us the reason for Terra's existence, and whether it was a disaster or a brave new world waiting for us in the future. Yeah, a few people did that Knight's Mora. But then again, it keeps like describing him. Maybe. Free, please stop. Don't even joke about that. You can't do that to me. You can't, like, let me picture a future with my wife and then the horse is there. No! Oh, that's horrendous. Ryan Lab has already made preparations, but that alone is not enough. We must respond to the fear of the unknown and go boldly where no one's gone before. What you said was absolutely correct, Nasty. However, Ryan Lab must be the one to turn that key. Whoa. Of course, we have to make up cocktail party. How many wives do I have? We don't talk about it. What's this, Justin Jr.? A newspaper sample. I would like you to think of a little title for this article here before it goes into print. Are these scientists gathering the morn of the end of sky fever? Oh god. Please don't put the horse in the cuck chair. I don't want him anywhere near me. Please! No! Oh. We're preparing to usher in a tide of new changes. You sent a Korean start of communications to your colleagues, the savior? More appropriate to put it through the DoD-aligned newspaper, getting its hands on certain documents that could be obtained by official means. But I heard your control has already reached an understanding with Jackson concerning Propeller Paradise. Saddle up! No! Bree, you take him. I don't want him. Who's the horse? Why the hate? The horse is Miriam. He's important to Ryan Lab. And because he's a Mary Sue and like edgy little furry. Look, man. You have a point, King of Sarcasm. Now you guys know the truth. No, junk. Bad. I need to get a spray bottle and just psh, 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 psh. I'm not too thrilled about it, are you? But it won't stop me from making another deal with you. I understand that. In the Aftermath Horizon Arc project, Ryan Lab's credibility with the Department of Defense has become roughly the equivalent of Mama John's scratch-off lottery tickets garbage. Which is why I only came to you after Saria reached an understanding with Jackson. In the aftermath of the setback of Bolivar, the failure of the Horizon Arc project and the Propeller Paradise incident, the Department of Defense credibility with the President Mark Max has become... Well, I suppose I should spare you the pre-verbs. I'm getting hungry, Strat. We can't talk about pizza right now. I don't know what exactly our scientists are planning, but I know the value they can create. And this, I'm sure we agree. I'm a businessman, and my priority is Ryan Lab's business interest. Sounds like I have no reason to refuse. I guess accept your fate. Please, Lawfin, don't say that. Take it back. I'm begging you. It was a pleasure doing business with you. To be frank with you, I didn't think much of you when Blake recommended you. I'm sure you remember my life story that I shared, which is a fairly interesting one if I do say so myself. All you need to know is think with fate. As for your attitude towards the one who controls its pulse, that's rarely in your hands. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Oh, I'm free! I'm free! I did it, guys! I said I would, and I did it! Ah. Okay, so not a long chat because, like, my throat is killing me. My throat is over. And there's not enough money for me to stay. Bash, welcome back! A horse defeated? Yeah, Hunt's defeated. Oh my god. Okay, so we have, I believe, 2 more streams before I go ahead and leave for the World Cup. I don't know what we're gonna stream yet. I don't know. But we're gonna have some fun. Arknights thankfully is doing a rerun, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm free from that. I don't have to worry about, like, catching an event within, like, 2 days. Don't say that, Strat. Take that back. Just talking stream? Maybe. I did say that I was gonna make the members, giveaway soon. But we are gonna wait for me to get back. Who are you reading for? Mexico! Obviously! Well, then again, I say obviously, but, like, I'm the whitest Mexican anyone will ever meet, so... Yeah, we're gonna wait until after I get back. I don't know if it's gonna be the first time I get back or the second time, because, like, I will have a few days where I go back to Mexico. Yee! Nice amount of people. But we will be doing, some things. I don't know what yet. We'll have some fun before I leave, and then we'll be back. Yes, Sin will be back sometime within the next 10 years, trust. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just pale, that's all it is. Okay, my voice is like giving up. Stream the World Cup? I have plans. I'm not gonna stream it, but I have plans. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright guys, as per usual, don't forget to work out. Have a good sleep. Have a great morning. I will see you guys very soon. I'll see you guys on Friday. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching with me. Wee, 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 wee. Good night. Effie, just because you're a mod doesn't mean I won't skin you. You keep that man's name out of your mouth. He doesn't belong here. No junk. I'm here. I'm watching. My voice is dying. I'll go back to working. someone please put down Strat? I'm begging you. Quit. Boffin too! How dare you! Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. I'm done with this. Goodbye.